Got it. Done. And got it over here. Here we are. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Mexico. How are you? And I am here with my magnificent brothers, my beloved brothers, in whom I am well pleased, and they are
Islam. I am Brother Hasan Bey, all rights reserved.
Yay, yay.
Paragon Debo.
Paragon Debo. Let's do it, Joe. Go ahead, bro.
Islam, Brother Alim. All is well. But you know, my bros also sometimes call me
Braveheart. Braveheart. All right, let's get this started, man. Let us have some fun, guys. Look, we'd like to welcome to AstroCivics Sunday. Is this AstroCivics Sunday 7?
Might be 7 or 8. Not
really?
sure.
I'm gonna have to go check, man. Check, see which AstroCivics Sunday this is. You guys see the title, right? RV Bey's Jurisprudence page, right? I even just real quick just reached out to Mother Raj just to give her a heads up. Like, look, we're gonna go in on the RV Bey Publications Jurisprudence page. Me and the bros have been chopping it up for the last couple of hours, just brainstorming. I know that there's some things that are going to have to get done, actually, you know what I'm saying, as far as and I got some typing to do as far as some writs or whatever for people that are sincere about actually going about this thing the way that I and my bros have. We didn't go out there and try to start any, follow me organizations from, trying to look like military or police. We didn't do those things. So we want to just, put some things together for some sincere Moors that are going to read these things, right? And make sure that they stay in harmony and stay in honor. When I went to RV Bey Publications back in 2014 and declared and proclaimed my nationality at the end of 2014, beginning of 2015-ish, really into 2014, what I recognized was that there wasn't any of these post 2018 organizations, where your generals are getting pinned against guardrails on the road, or you have Moriscos falling and holding flags in the middle of 95. That wasn't happening, and I get it. So don't get upset, even though they probably don't mind, with Brother Aura or Brother Sean here, so to speak. What I would say is that I am making sure that I am consistent in saying what is necessary for Moors when studying. I mean, I know some people might want microwave results. Oh man, I got this going on in this amount of time. I need to get it off my back. Well, you might have wanted to study sincerely when you first came across this information. You might wanted to study in a fashion where you don't have to be under stress for what it is that you're doing. Stop following Moors on social media that do not do what Seven Hill Star does. The reason why Seven Hill Star does what it does is because we were given information via me being conduit and me sharing freely with my brothers that are before you, and including shout out to Brother Terrell, Tamari Bey with the Sauce, and Exalted Cyclops, Brother Corey Bey. Right, and shout out to Brother Senior Jackson Bey also, because technically he is a certified Seven Hill Star astrologer. Alrighty, so with that being said, making sure that everyone has the information. However, we comprehend that not everyone has the comprehension. I yield to you, bros.
Islam, bro.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna go over jurisprudence concepts, basically. Excuse me. We're going to be on rvbeypublication.com, of course, the foundation, Moorish Heritage and History School. We're definitely going to touch on like the UCCs, because even though there's people out there claiming to be Moorish Americans, they're still being told or somehow believe in their mind that they should be doing UCC1 filings or even like birth certificate authentication, things like that. So we're definitely going to touch on that and kind of help you clear up your concepts, right? With regard to, you know, those ideas that plague the community, honestly, because if everybody was actually doing what they were supposed to be doing, we'd be getting a lot more work done.
Correct.
But nevertheless, you know, there's enough work for everybody, so everybody's just gonna, you know, as far as I can only speak for myself, really, and you know, with permission, I can speak for Seven Hill Stars. So I could just say for the bros, we're just gonna keep studying. We're gonna keep correcting the concepts for ourselves and for those who want to listen, right? For those who want to actually yield and take heed, actually, because I feel like the sincere Moorish Americans would hear us and actually realize, like, hey, these guys are actually, you know, they're actually being faithful, sincere, honorable Moors, and they actually are providing a whole lot of value, national service, community service, right? For free, right? So I'm ready to get into it, bro.
Indeed, I am also. So guys, we're going to do and respectfully present. Hold on, I'm pasting this to Mother Roz so she can catch it later. I am, hold on 2 seconds, going to do our invocation ends. You guys see we have divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish Divine and National Movement pertaining to the world, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, even though whoever put this one particular one together, shout out to Brother Hasan Bey, he's going to send me one that he was able to receive.
I already sent it too.
Oh, you got, okay, cool.
Should be in your email.
In the email?
Yeah, the Hasan email.
All right, got you. And we'll go off of that. I'll actually print that out and rescan it. I'll make sure, because, you know, see what we do. As far as, I remember you said something about sealing and things of that nature, and I don't mind that, but I will take a look at that one, because it's way more on point than, you know, someone saying, oh, the Divine Constitution of Moorish America. Yes, we're Moorish Americans. We get it. You know what I'm saying? This is a contemporary document. All right. I'm not knocking the spirit pertaining to it. However, when you guys see what was around the time Prophet Noble Drew Ali was on the scene, the wording is much different, especially with what I was introduced. However, I'm always willing to correct my concepts appropriately. All right. However, we're going to stand facing east and have our feet like Prophet Noble Drew Ali here, who's standing there handsomely, standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif's fez there, right? In his abba, right? What am I calling his abba? Is that robe that you guys see? If it's not an abba, I'm open for correction. However, he's standing squarely there, just above not only his religious corporate activity appellation, however, standing above the Moorish American prayer. So we're going to do this invocation, and we're going to have 5 appendages extended on the left hand, just the index in the middle extended on the right. I'm going to face east here, all righty? And you guys can repeat after me aloud or in your heart. Islam. Islam, Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
To his holy prophet.
To his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. And I know people like, it doesn't say noble there. It just says Drew Ali. I mean, again, noble is all knowing. Holy means he's whole, 360 degrees at least, if not 720 at least.
Shri Yukta Shrar.
Shri, I know, right? Sri, right? Sri Drew Ali, right? Prophet is thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh. Noble, all-knowing. Drew, truth. Ali, master. So when you say holy prophet, noble Drew Ali, you're saying in full life. All righty, in full life. Thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. All knowing, manifested in flesh, all knowing truth master. When you say Holy Prophet Noble Drawley, if you just say Prophet Noble Drawley, thought pertaining to all balanced law, manifested in flesh, all knowing truth master. I think that's apropos. I think that's very fitting, actually. Moving right along, we want to go over to the photos, and the first letter to be read in every meeting. I have it, if it is right here, if. Alrighty, we see here, guys, we are in Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions, pages 84 and 85, as you can see at the bottom. Alrighty, and this is the following letter is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drawley on 18th day of January 1928 Anno Domini. He commanded it be read before every meeting. And we're going to yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Alim El Islam.
Islam to be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me in the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so that they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my quote-unquote fame and nobility. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali.
Excellent. Second letter to be read in every meeting. We're pulling it here. Again, guys, if you're not familiar, and what Brother Sean just read from, of course, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929 is when that was presented. All righty. And here for the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, pages 12 and 13. Again, Prophet Noble Drew Ali standing handsomely in his Moorish Sharif fez, standing due guard in his Abba. All righty. What you see here now is the divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Do you need me to zoom out, Brother R, or keep it here? Which one's best for you? I think you're muted, bro.
Okay, my fault.
Don't worry.
You're good. You're good. Just when you get to the paragraph that starts with any, you're gonna have to scroll up a little bit.
Got you. All righty. I yield the floor to you, bro.
Islam, divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting.
Got you.
I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any members or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his, you gotta scroll up a little bit. Yeah. People, to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Yes, wow, gratitude indeed, bro. I'm going to stop the screen share because I know Brother Ara is going to go in. He's going to bring up rvbaypublications.com. So let me stop the screen share here. And then after he goes in, we're going to fill in where we fill in. And when I go to share what portions from RV Bay publication, I like to go into the Moorish Nation Public Records. So we're going to start at the Jurisprudence page, and then we're going to go to Public Records True and Divine. I entered the Moorish Nation Public Records, so to speak. So you guys, even though you hear us talk about Jurisprudence Gem, again, shout out to Malika, Sonny, Keith, Bobby, and all our loved ones there, right? Shout out to them. That device will come back. It's just doing its thing that it does. See, it's back. So with that being said, we all about the Jurisprudence Gem. However, guys, I've been on this for 8 years. All right. I'm not someone that came 2 years, 3 years ago, came in 2018, 4 years ago, and now I'm some consulting general Marine guy or whatever. That's not me. That's not how I got this. All righty. So how I got it was someone genuinely doing music with me online, doing online studio sessions. And he was like, bro, the way you think and the way you talk, he was having conversations like, yo, you sound like Taj. And I'm like, who's Taj? Right. And it still took me 3 months after that conversation to even watch my first Brother Taj Bay video. But he immediately was like, yo, go to rvbaypublications.com right now. And when I went, this is what I, came across. You know what I'm saying? It's, of course, there's some things that are a little different, of course. Here, as you see, there's some new things added that Mother Ras Mariah added. Shout out to Mother Ras Mariah V. Bay. Alrighty. So this is where we actually stick to. We sincere Moorish Americans, first, when you first come into your nationality and birthrights, we spend about 18 months on RV Bay because we already comprehend that in order to sincerely grasp something, it's not going to be microwave. You kind of want that, that slow roasting going on, so to speak, when it comes to you comprehending what's here. All righty. So what we're going to go in on, as you can see here, is the Jurisprudence page, rvbaypublications.com/id99.html, as you can see there in the URL window, right? So with that being said, we're going to go here, check out a few things here. I know Brother R is going to go in on the UCC. I know we can't wait for that. And then I'm going to go to Public Records True and Divine and share Moorish Nation Public Records to kind of show you guys what we've been on. It's just that we frequent the Jurisprudence Gem, however, to keep our exercises up, on and up and up. With that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, Brother Ara Muwala Bey,
Islam. So first, you notice we have the scroll right here, right? That says positive law on it because that's what jurisprudence is the science of. And then we have the scales here, right? Which is like the scales of justice, right? Libra in astrological sense. So we have jurisprudence is the science of and philosophy that treats positive law and the administration of the same. It is the study of the nonce and structure of the legal systems and or their forms as opposed to or distinguished from the content of the said legal or law systems. Jurisprudence is more akin to analytical comparison of systems of law. The root of jurisprudence is derived from Old Moorish Latin words juris, meaning law, and prudentia, meaning knowledge, right? So we could just pull that up real quick. Keep the etymology dictionary close, right?
You already?
All right. It's a noun, 1620s, systematic knowledge of law. From French jurisprudence, 17th century, and directly from late Latin, and that's jurisprudentia, the science of law, right? From juris, or right, of law. Genitive of juris, see juris, right? Plus prudentia, knowledge, a foreseeing. See prudence, meaning the philosophy, or quote, the philosophy of law, end quote, is first attested 1756. Related, jurisprudent, jurisprudential, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first thing we're going to get into here is actually dealing with UCC. So,
well, what's UCC? Let me stop. It's right there in person. It's right there.
all right. Look at this. Uniformlaws.org.
Uniformlaws.org. Wow. With no enactment statements, huh?
Yeah, we're going to go to the Wikipedia real quick just to get a quick background. They're begging for finance. Okay. The Uniform Commercial Code, first published in 1952.
Whoa. Stop, you. Whoa.
Whoa. First published in 1952, is one of a number of uniform acts. Hold on. What is a uniform act? In the United States, a uniform act is a proposed state law drafted and approved by Congress. Oh, no, not by Congress.
Oh.
By the Uniform Law Commission, ULC, also known as the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws.
Hold on, that sounds like a bunch of people coming together starting some shit. Let me stop. that aren't government. Yeah. They're not government. They're not Congress. They're not constitutional.
They're not legislators, although some of the members of the ULC may be legislators while they're drafting up these state law, these proposed state laws. While these people are drafting state laws. Oh my goodness. These people are not legislators in their legislative capacity, in their official legislative capacity, although some of them may be members of a state legislature or of the federal legislature, right? Congress, because this is literally a group made up entirely of, guess what? Bar members. All of them are bar members. That's literally the only requirement that they have to be a part of the ULC. And these people are getting together, coming up with color of law, right? Proposing it to the states, and then having the states adopt them, right? Once they approve it, right? It becomes, quote unquote, state law, right? So just to name some of the few uniform acts that was created by the ULC that was approved and adopted by the state legislatures, the Landlord-Tenant Act. Landlord-Tenant Act is indeed a uniform act. What else? That driving stuff, right? Isn't that the what you call it? The The driving
National
law.
Highway Security stuff. I mean, National Highway and Safety.
Yeah, no, even that I think is actually federal. Like, it's like something dealing with it. I think they have a table over here actually.
Got you.
Yeah.
UCC articles still sounds like not legislatively approved opinion.
Sounds like not law. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like opinions. It's like, you know what, we think shit should go this way uniformly. That's like, okay, you guys know that Seven Hills Star is recognized internationally by a major professional astrology organization. All right, internationally, not even playing. However, even though we are Moorish American astrologers, I think we're the only true astrologers on the planet. No offense to our colleagues. It's just that we don't care about federal agency or being part of corporate territories. It's just that we're being ourselves. And we know that all federal agents, state and municipal, are servants to us. We're the Fresh Prince, they're Jeffrey. Don't be offended by that statement. You'll only be a fool in being upset. However, what I'm saying is, just because we are a group of astrologers that have come together and we're a part of this major astrological association or whatever, that doesn't mean that we can propose many astrological, parameters for all astrologers to utilize. However, it's just a proposal, which can be rejected. Will you marry me? No. See, it's really that simple. That's how easy a rejection can happen. So with that being said, what I'm actually saying is that that's the same thing that the ULC did, the Uniform Law Commission. They sat here and came up with some things that they think this is how it should go, which means your lives are not being ran by so-called government. Your lives are being ran by the British Accredited Registry, because it's a bunch of attorneys that have come together, like a bunch of astrologers, for us, have come together and they said, this is how things should be regulated within this realm of thinking. It's like, okay, so just like, the professional, organization, could be like, well, astrology needs to be done this way. Now, I'm Moorish American. I'm in full life. The last thing I'm going to listen to is a bunch of astrologers that aren't nationals. I don't care who you are. If you're not national, I'm not going to listen to you, respectfully. That's just how I am. You can be upset with me. I really don't give a shit. What you will not ever be able to say is, Hasan lied to me. The truth is stern, it doesn't change, and it don't pass away. And that's where I stand. And I'm pretty sure my brothers can speak for themselves. That's where they stand. So again, make sure you comprehend that the UCC is an opinion by barristers that decided to come together and go, I think this is how things need to be regulated, which means the UCC doesn't have a legislative enactment statement at the top of it, like bills that get turned into laws, provided they're not vetoed, which is different from proposed state laws.
Yeah, so like this Uniform Commercial Code, as well as the Landlord Tenant Act, like, what is the legislative intent for that? Oh, legislators didn't draft it. My apologies.
So hold on. So are you saying that the Uniform Commercial Codes have no evidence pertaining to legislative intent?
No, unless they adopted something after the drafting, right? Because all uniform acts, the purpose for all uniform acts is to have uniform laws throughout all the states. That's really the only purpose. So they just want everybody, every so-called state on the same page. They want to railroad everyone equally, right?
Hold on. Adopted, however, not legislatively enacted.
Not legislatively enacted. And I believe that the actual purpose for the ULC is to create color of law that Congress cannot be blamed for, but they are going to be blamed for adopting it.
So hold on. So don't you adopt orphans?
Right.
Okay, I'm just saying, this is some orphan shit. It's an orphan commercial code. Okay, I yield, bro. Go ahead.
Right. So first published in 1952 is one of the number of uniform acts that have been established as law with the goal of harmonizing the laws of sales and other commercial transactions across the United States through UCC adoption by all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the territories of the United States. Let's go down here to the history real quick. The UCC is the longest and most elaborate of the Uniform Acts. The code has been a long-term joint project of the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws. Again, that's the ULC, the Uniform Law Commission, right? Also called the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws, is a non-profit.
Vatican. Okay, pardon me. I just had an emotional outburst there.
A non-profit American unincorporated association established in 1892. The ULC aims to provide U.S. states with well-researched and drafted model acts. Let me click this real quick. Model acts.
To bring clarity and stability to the critical areas of statutory laws.
Where you see that? I'm not even seeing the continuation.
Third line, keep going to the right.
Right, to bring clarity and stability to critical areas of statutory law across jurisdiction. Yo, you know what's crazy? Because they got delegated authority from the governors to do this bullshit.
Which means the governors are on some bullshit, sort of, kind of, because this is what's happening, what I think is happening. The Uniform Law Commission are sitting here, coming together as a group of barristers, British accredited registry members. Then that means what they're doing is running and adopt it. It's like, hey, would you like to adopt an opinion and call it a law? Because when you went back, if you go back to where you got UCC or Uniform Commercial Code, it said as a law. You know, like how like Malcolm Jamal Warner is as Theo Huxtable. So Theo Huxtable is imaginary. It's realistic fiction. Whereas the actual being playing Theo Huxtable is Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yo, it's like a gang, yo, it's for life. Look, life member for life. Commissioners are the commissioners on uniform law, state laws appointed by authority of the several states of the United States of America, whose commissions authorize them to confer with commissioners of other states. An individual, that's great, authorize them to confer with commissioners, so doesn't authorize them to make law, just to confer with commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that sounds like to me. But let's go back over here. The ULC promotes enactment of uniform acts in areas of state law where uniformity is desirable and practical. The ULC headquarters are in Chicago, Illinois.
I wonder why. And then you got to think what Prophet Noble Drew did.
Mm-hmm. The ULC consists of approximately 350 commissioners. A commissioner is a principal, a member of a commission, or an individual who has been given a commission, appointed by each U.S. state, District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. All of its members are lawyers. Whoa. All of its members are lawyers. Whoa. All of its members are lawyers.
Yo. He said, whoa.
Yo.
Yo, go ahead, bro.
These bar members have infiltrated the judicial system, right? And then they monopolized it. You ever heard a so-called judge say, do you have a license to practice law? I'm sure anybody who's gone into any of these so-called court venues and attempted to speak for themselves immediately got told, do you have a license to practice law? Right?
Mm-hmm.
All of its members are lawyers who may also serve as legislators, judges, or legal scholars. Whoa, so they're all, wait, hold on. How can you serve as lawyer and judge? Do you hear this?
Yeah, I see the fraud. I see the conflict of interest. I see it. It's clear to my eyes.
All of his members,
clear to your eyes.
No, they said this shit like, yo, how can you guys say this so casually? All of its members are lawyers who may also serve. No, they may not. No, they may not serve as lawyers and also legislators, judges, or legal scholars. Maybe the legal scholar one.
Maybe.
But you can't hold two offices. You can't be a judge and a legislator. You can't be a legislator and a lawyer. You can't do it. A lawyer is already an officer of the court. So how are you going to be an officer of the court and be an officer of Congress?
That's a conflict of interest. Even Abraham Lincoln had to no longer be a barrister in order to be the guy who assists in bureaucratizing slavery. You go, oh, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. No, it just made it so, hey, if you want to have this, you want this carrot, then you got to sign up this way. And then once you sign up, guess what? Back into slavery. All right, I yield.
Speaking of carrots, we're talking about carrot right now, which is these UCCs. But it says here the ULC. Oh, where was I? Right here. It says each is appointed to the commission by the government of their respective state or territory.
Whoa, there goes the governor's charge right there. It says by the government of their respective state or territory. So yes, whoever's sitting in the seat of, it was called substitute bay. The governor is a substitute bay. So whatever jurisdiction I and my brothers are near, we are to actually direct the substitute bay, which is the governor for the executive branch of their service corporations, to let them know, hey, Jeffrey, this is your bounds. Don't go above, don't go beyond that, unless you want to pick your favorite color noose to be hung in for treason.
Mm-hmm.
So we're reading a whole treason, document here. This is treason documented on Wikipedia. Just want to make sure you guys know that. There should be people being hung for this, for their participation in this, in the ULC, let me say, not in this presentation. We're within our right.
It's definitely treasonous.
Oh yeah, it's definitely treasonous. They should be fucking hung immediately.
Yeah, because
all the members that are lawyers who may also serve as legislators, judges, or legal scholars, they all need to be like, my favorite color is red. Hang me in a colored noose that's red. Hang me in a red colored noose.
What part of the Constitution says that lawyers draft up laws or lawyers draft up legislation? What part of the Constitution grants that authority? And
I don't see that anywhere.
I didn't see that nowhere. I saw Article 1, Section 9 and Article 1, Section 10 that says that they're not supposed to bear titles of nobility, especially foreign titles of. Matter of fact, the whole Article 1, Section 9 thing was based on the esquires and the way they was trying to take over stuff back then.
The shields.
Yeah, the shields, right? The red shields, probably, right? So Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution for the United States of America and Article 1, Section 10 bans titles of nobility. These people bear foreign titles of nobility. They have esquire, right? The shield, which is a knight in training. Does everybody know that?
A knight in training.
Oh man.
A knight. So they be like, I am John Dingleheimer Schmidt. They're saying they're a shield bearer.
They'd be so proud of their title too. It's hilarious.
They're an attendant young man in training to be a Knight of Columbus, which actually, once again, you're talking Ku Klux Klan there. Those are our sons. And our sons actually know because we know we're not better than anybody. We're just not getting ourselves stopped on the highway, having ourselves hold flags or being pinned against guardrails by 10 brown shirts. Why? Because we follow instruction. I yield.
Yes, esquires are noun, late 14th century, from Old French esquire, right? Shield bearer. They're literally the shield between us and them. Like anytime you got to deal with these people, they use their attorney. If you sue them, if they sue you, if any legal matters, they literally tell you, I can't give you any legal advice. And then they say, but you could get an attorney. Why? Because that's their shield. That's their protection. Them violating the people, but in between that, it's like you can't get to them because they got this shield up. The shield bearer is actually the esquire. They're the ones who are officers of the court. Their first duty is to the court, even if they have a client. Can we pull that up real quick?
Jesus Christ. Still just sharing this out to the loved ones. Sharing it out to the loved ones.
You got Naya over here saying, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. nephew yeah. is definitely probably listening to you like, yeah, that's like, Daddy, that sounds kind of crazy. like because I already know how you be with the babies, man. So I already know they could probably read some things and be like, this don't sound right. Jesus Christ.
So check it out. This is Corpus Juris Secundum, Volume 7, right? Section 4, attorney and client. His first duty is to the courts. Oh, let me make this bigger. My apologies. All right. His first duty is to the courts and the public, military, right? Not to the clients. And wherever the duties to his client conflict with those he owes as an officer of the court in the administration of justice, the former must yield to the latter.
Whoa.
The officer or the office of attorney, see, so it is an office. So how can you be a so-called lawyer, right? How can you be an attorney and be a legislator? That's two offices. The office of attorney is indispensable to the administration of justice and is no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's very dispensable.
and is intimate and is intimate and peculiar in its relation to and vital to the well-being of the court.
The court.
Of the court, not the people.
So hold on. So that's why the court is, when you send correspondences from yourself, you send correspondences from your post to another post, do you know that you are the court? Like I send documentation to somewhere else, I'm the court. Okay, so for the well-being of the court, this is what the barrister needs to do. You don't need to be running his mouth. He needs to be doing what I say.
Remember the definition of court in the I think this is the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure or Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. It says that the court is the judge operating within the basically according to law.
Correct. Who are we? What are we called when it comes? What kind of judge are we? Are we great measuring judges?
Right.
Which would be great. A way to say great measuring would be Muhammadan. Maha, great, Midan, measuring or measurer. So we're the great measuring judges. That's why we have Compton Square. And comprehended. We're not trying to be some cool people that make the people that know less. We gotta spoon feed them this. You know what I mean? More. We can't be bringing that. Then maybe they're meant to be casualties of war. We're not here to cater to incompetent idiots.
Nope.
Incompetents or idiots. We're not here to cater to that.
And we're not just talking, we're pulling up references right now. So look, definitions. This is the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. Boom. What does it say a court is right here for everyone can see really, really big? It
says number 2. Scroll it down a little bit. Scroll your page down. Or up. I don't know which one. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, I just wanted to see. Oh, okay, I thought it was saying it was 28 USC 1784. Pardon me. Number 2 under B, definitions. Number 2, court, quote unquote, means a federal judge performing functions authorized by law.
So if you're not, if the functions that you're performing are not authorized by law, it's not the court that's actually operating. It's you criminally. It's the being with the title federal judge. It's them. Probably in their private and official capacity. So again, when we go back over here, right, remember this. It says, the office of attorney is indispensable to the administration of justice and is intimate and peculiar to its relationship to and vital to the well-being of the court, which would be the federal judge operating, right?
Mhm.
Or performing functions authorized by law. An attorney has a duty to aid the court, the federal judge, performing public functions, right? Or performing the functions of a public office authorized by law, in seeing that actions and proceedings in which he is engaged as counsel, not litigator, just so you know. So they can only advise.
Yeah, they can only be whispering in somebody else.
Yeah,
like, because I say that this man, jury, is blah, blah. You better sit your ass down.
Counsel, litigate. These are different. These terms have different meanings. Counsel are conducted in a dignified and orderly manner, free from passion and personal animosities, and that all causes brought to an issue are tried and decided on their merits only, to aid the court. They don't run the court. But I just brought this up to show you that the attorney's first duty is to the court, not to their clients.
So, and if they're an esquire, that means they're holding the shield for a knight. So that means that when you're dealing with what it is that you're dealing with, and you're at least a knight, then cool. However, we know, being declared and proclaimed Moorish American nationals sincerely, not your, secure party creditor Moors. That's not us. All righty. We don't care about your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency or doing federal processes that make you think, oh, now I've corrected my position. No, you didn't. Status correction people. Look, that's something that comes with declaring and proclaiming your nationality. It's not something that's independent of declaring and proclaiming your nationality. All righty. So we're going to keep pointing out certain things. And yes, I'm going to keep saying things that I know lower minds who have ears that are easily hurt along with their feelings are going to think I'm throwing shade. And I'm not. The truth is stern. It doesn't change nor pass away. You just have to grow the fuck up and listen respectfully. I yield.
Indeed.
Article 1, Section 9, pertaining to the North American Republic Constitution for the United States of America. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United Mind States. And no person holding any office of profit, PROFIT, or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, except of any present emolument, office, or title of any kind, whatever, from any king, prince, or foreign state.
Yes, and remember, okay, so let's go back. We was looking over here. All right. So an esquire, late 14th century, from Old French esquire, shield bearer, attendant, young man in training to be a knight.
Écolier. Pardon me, that's just probably how some people from France say it. It's écolier. But go ahead. Yeah, I know, right?
Groom, modern French. Écuyer, right? Medieval Latin, scutarius.
Almost sounds like Sagittarius. No, I'm gonna stop. Go ahead.
Right. It looks like it, right? Shield bearer, guardsman. In classical Latin, shield maker. From scutum, shield. See escutcheon.
Isn't that like listen? Escutcheon. That's French for listen.
Yeah, almost sounds just like it, right? Like it's so-called Spanish Moorish Latin is escucha.
That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? And it's funny, there is a constellation called Scutum. There's actually a constellation, and it's a shield with a freaking cross on it. That's how they drew the celestial picture writing. That's why I said, where's the original celestial plates? But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, for initial E, C, E, compare, squire, right?
Noun form. Mm-hmm.
Noun, originally the feudal rank below knight. What are you talking about right here?
What rank?
What rank? Are you talking about a title of nobility here? Feudal
Sounds
rank.
like they're doing feudal stuff, which is opposite of allodial, and we're allodial American nationals.
Exactly. So how are you bearing a foreign feudal ranking title of nobility, and then they're talking about it's indispensable to the court? In what country? That's not
only in the country of stupidity in people's minds that accept it.
Right. In the country of corporate democracy, it's not a country, but
correct.
Since brought in 16th century to a general title of courtesy. Oh, now it's general. Oh, okay. It's just it's just a general title. No, you guys are still tied. You're still tied to England and Britain and all of that. To a general
it's called British Accredited Registry. British.
of courtesy or respect for the educated and professional class, especially later in U.S., regarded as belonging especially to lawyers. In our own dear title bearing democratic land, stop it. You know I'm gonna pull it up.
Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. Oh no, is that what you're going for? Or no?
No, I'm going for this.
Got you. The Section 4. So this is Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, which is actually what the UCC is. The UCC is a invasion plan.
Yeah, it's because remember, invasion is the implementation of foreign law that is against the Constitution. That violates implementing foreign law that violates the domestic law, so to speak, right? So if you know, we just looked at Article 1. My apologies, I still got this on. We just looked at Article 1, right? And it straight up says no titles of nobility and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys have titles of nobility in violation of the Constitution already, and then they're imposing foreign law because it's not coming from Congress.
Right? Can I say it with the Brother Taj voice? Spanish Inquisition. It's the Spanish Inquisition. It's unum sanctum.
Look, and it says right here, clearly, the ULC promotes enactment of uniform acts. Promotes. Though they draft it up too. And the thing is that if they're drafting it and they're full of lawyers who are also judges and also legislators and also whatever, these people are coming from within the de facto governmental structure, coming out to the ULC and then creating the foreign stuff, right? The whole time they're foreign agents. Because if you look up look, they got Swedish nobility.
Swedish nobility? Is that like meatballs? Like Swedish meat? Let me stop.
It's like the famous pasta dish or something.
Wow. Wowzers. Is Esquire a title of nobility?
Lawyers admitted to the IBA receive the rank. Weren't we just talking about rank?
Correct.
The rank. They got a rank, Esquire, a title of nobility. Esquire was
Christ. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Listen to this. Esquire was the principal title of nobility, which the 13th Amendment sought to prohibit from the United States. We don't need a 13th and 14th Amendment for the salvation of our people. Article 1, Section 9 and 10 already banned it.
No 14th or 15th Amendment. Yeah, because I think when you look at 11, 12, and 13, you know, people are like, well, the free, you know, even Brother Taj presented the Freeman's Bureau with the original 20 sections in Amendment 13. However, I still have not seen a lawful ratification after Bill of Rights 10. So that's why I don't call the Bill of Rights amendments. I think amendment is another invasive wording just like the Uniform Commercial Codes. Like it's an invasion.
If they themselves, we got that question right there for the world. If anybody can answer this, why do lawyers use the title Esquire? Because they're foreign agents. That's why. Because they're foreign agents and they're showing their allegiance to their foreign master. And then they're doing work here, such as working for the Uniform Law Commission. Remember, all of them are lawyers. What do you say?
Right.
That?
Well, because they're volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
They're volunteering to be a part and make up the Uniform Law Commission, National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws, really, which means that what does the state normally do without the ULC? It sounds like General Assembly. General Assembly is what I see with states and state laws. So the General Church is having these barristers? Is that
foreign
what
agents?
Assembly is a church? Go ahead, I yield.
Foreign agents.
Okay.
That's just what I'm gonna call them. If I'm not calling them a bar rat, a bar fly, or just a straight criminal, I'm calling them foreign agents because their titles of nobility, and then on top of that, they get their certifications and their titles from the Supreme Courts of the states who don't have congressional authority to do such a thing. And all of its members are lawyers. All of them.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta go back.
All of them. Yes, all of them.
So speaking of carrots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come in.
Come in.
I know you probably don't hear the bell when you're watching the video, do you?
Oh, I'm not sure. Probably, maybe not. I would have to double check, man. But
I don't think you do.
Yeah, not doing the video because even when we watch, like, go back and watch Jurisprudence Gym, we don't ever hear the ding dong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So, preliminary study regarding UCC's Uniform Commercial Codes, and we just gave you a background on the guys who put this together, the foreign agents that put this together.
Correct.
And this is posted 2010. So I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about, you've been a Moor for 7 years, but you just thought a UCC 1 filing was the thing to do because, somebody tricked you. We told you go to rvpublications.com and do not move until you're ready. Clearly, a lot of us are not actually ready.
Clearly.
So, the Uniform Commercial Codes, UCC, are for commerce, commercial contracts. There has been a wave of people who were attempting. Islam?
Oh, what you just ordered these this year?
Oh, you speaking in his background.
Can't wait to see Cash little face coming in and saying
Nephew Cash. That's what we talking about. I know. Brother Sean don't recognize he's not muted. It's all good. I got it though.
Islam.
Talking about nephew. What's up, nephew? Go ahead.
Yeah. The Uniform Commercial Codes, UCC, are for commerce, commercial contracts. There has been a wave of people who were attempting to gain sovereignty. Can you imagine that? Gain sovereignty, right? Through a UCC contract. Stop it.
No, right? They can't. It's like, I need to gain wet because, like, with water comes wet, with nationality comes sovereignty. You cannot get wet independently from some liquid. Remember, wet is a description of some other surface coming in contact with some liquid. So sovereignty must be some result of something else coming in contact with some other fabric in reality, so to speak, or fabric pertaining to thought, so to speak. However, I yield the floor. Let me go see what's going on. I yield, bro. I'm all ears.
Islam. Yeah, in that sense, I would say, sovereignty would be the water, and then the UCC contract would be the wetsuit. Like, don't put on the wetsuit if you want to get wet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. This is possibly the biggest carrot. Okay, again, there has been a wave of people who were attempted to gain sovereignty through a UCC contract. This is possibly the biggest carrot that has been placed before the people to hinder them from true sovereignty and to coerce them into consciously transferring their birthrights, which you can't transfer, can't sell, right? Can't buy, rendering them ineffectual because you are born sovereign and you cannot transfer, buy, or sell your sovereignty. Efforts in doing so is called slave trade. Yikes. All right. In the words of Drew, be careful, Moors. Some of your own will put you back into slavery. Typically, there are two levels of UCC filings that most have utilized. The first one is the UCC 1 filing, which allegedly secures the straw name. However, they essentially place themselves into the fraud as a party to the fraud. The proper lawful procedure in not getting rid of your straw is to utilize XREL. See preliminary study of XREL on this page. This is what is meant and how one lawfully holds onto the slave name without being the slave name, which has been constructed as a fictitious entity by way of the birth certificate. All of these efforts have been constructed to keep you in the status of a corporation, right? Or as in the status of operating as a corporation, right?
Correct.
Because they obviously know you're not a corporation. Of course you're not a corporation, but they're looking at you as if you're operating a corporation in your all caps name. It's no different than a sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship, you take your name and then you add, whatever to it, you doing business in that name, in your same name. And then also, like, when you get like a LTD, right, or a LLC, they ask that you put your last name and then affix LTD or LLC to it. That's why you see
your wisdom. Oh, go ahead, continue. No, finish, because I want to add to your wisdom.
That's why you see a lot of businesses that have like the being's last name, like Walmart. You see what I'm saying? Like these are people's names. McDonald's, these are actual beings' names that they are using in, in a different styled format, right? They style it a little different and add the corporate identifiers on it, such as LLC or Corp or so on and so forth. Go ahead, IU.
So to add to your wisdom, it's just like how when we saw the word state and immediately like, okay, that's governor, because when it comes to the state, the governor is who sits the seat because he's the head. All righty. The governor is the head of the state jurisdiction. Just like when you saw the word court, the judge is the one sitting the seat for the court. So when you think court, you're thinking this one being elected to sit the seat, which represents the entire dealing or event that is termed court. When you're talking state, you're talking about this one being that's a substitute bey termed governor, right? Who's sitting a seat for the whole event that is called the state of whatever. So when you're looking at the Uniform Commercial Code to keep you in the status of a corporation, so if it's a corporation, what seat are you sitting then? Registered agent is the answer. So the all capital letter name, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's exactly why they're serving you. Like if they're saying you got to come to court, well, most of the time they're not lawfully served. They're not actually doing the process of service, but I'm saying everything that they want to give to that corporation, the all caps name that was constructed by a corporation through the birth certificate and whatnot, they give it to you because let's look up what a registered agent does.
20 CFR 422.104. That's when you hear us talk you, that's what we're saying. right? Someone who's a debtor to the United States. And that's why declaring and proclaiming your nationality is paramount, because you need to comprehend why you're not a registered agent for someone lying. Like they were front and center in your mom's vagina, like, oh, I remember what his mom called him or her mom called her. So since I was there front and center into the vagina, well, you were coming on out there, right? Being crowned the royalty that you are. Isn't that what they say? Oh, he's crowning, dilated 10 centimeters. But anyway, with that being said, now bringing that to the forefront, are you clear that these people are utilizing hearsay by taking from us through assumption, by people filling out documentations and applications and stuff, by the mother being an informant on an affidavit, not an affiant, on the affidavit, in an incapacitated kind of mind state at the time where they're asking her to fill out things. However, there's a foundling certificate now. Oh, I found this out my vagina, but they don't call it a found out of the vagina certificate. They call it a birth certificate, which should not be dealt with in any way, shape, or form. However, now someone is wanting you to be an accomplice to hearsay evidence by saying, isn't this your quote unquote name, birth date, and name, address, and birth date? And you can't say yes to any of those because the very first one, remember, all elements must be intact. One element is out of tact, then it's fallible. So as soon as you go, well, I really don't know what I was called by my mother or my father when I exited my mom's vagina, because I was an incompetent minor at that time. And hearsay evidence is inadmissible in court. So that's why what is said to be what your mom and dad called you is turned into an all capital letter entity by which you are being asked or presumed to be the registered agent for.
Exactly. Exactly. No matter if you are a small business owner or you run a huge corporation, the duties of a registered agent include receiving the following: all legal documents. Anytime there's a problem with the all caps name, don't they send it to you? Why are you receiving it? Are you the registered agent? Tax forms and notices. When there's issues with taxes with that all caps name, don't they send it to you, or are they sending it to someone else? The all caps name, the appellation that your mother gave you that was turned into an all caps name, aren't they sending all of that stuff to you? Because you in your ignorance are putting your mailing location down as where to receive stuff from these people. Like you're literally giving them the mailing location to serve you documents for that corporation, not knowing that they're treating you as the registered agent for that corporation. You just think, oh, it's you just living your regular life. I got to get these IDs. I got to go get a job. I got to use these Federal Reserve notes to take care of this and this and that. But the whole time you're performing, you're acting as if you're performing the functions of a public office when you're not. Government correspondences, aka annual reports, notice of a lawsuit, i.e. service of process. Didn't we just say that?
Islam sure did.
So don't get it twisted when we're reading, oh my God, he said that they think he's a corporation. No, that's not what we said. It's not what we said.
And what we're saying here, which what Mother Rosmariah V. Bey publishes here on rvbaypublication.com, that all of the efforts have been constructed to keep you in the status of a corporation. So you know how you keep someone in the status of a state? They're the governor. Keep someone in the status of the court? They're the judge. Keep someone in the status of a corporation? They're the registered agent. I yield.
Yeah, indeed. These constructs are not contracts at all. Therefore, they are void ab initio. Why? Because fraud destroys the validity of everything in which it enters into. There's a case law that states that. Can't remember it off top, but I'm sure you guys will stumble across it, or I'll find it later and share that with you guys. So fraud destroys the validity of all which it enters into. So something that is fraud is void ab initio from the beginning. It doesn't have to be rescinded. It doesn't have to be disputed. Or it doesn't have to be declared void. It is void before. It's not voidable. It's just void, right? That's like what's that case law? Barry Berry versus I'm gonna think of it later. However, it clearly states that orders that violate law are basically they're not voidable, they're just void. Period, right?
Islam.
Meaning they have no lawful binding other than that which you claim they have out of your lack of knowledge. It goes back to, I don't work for the government, but you're volunteering. You know you're not subject to this, but then in one breath you say you're not subject to this, and the next you volunteer to it. You know what I'm saying? In other words, it is your personal agreement that keeps them alive, man.
Jesus Christ. Tacit acquiescence keeps them alive.
Yeah, and then a lot of times we agree by not disputing, not saying anything back from our omissions and our own silence, right?
Mm-hmm.
He who does not deny admits. That's a maxim.
I'll be right back. You want to go use the Moor's room, but do your thing, bro. I'll be right back.
Islam. So regarding the statement by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, don't get rid of your slave name. Do all new business in your new name. Right? Many take the first part of that statement and run with it. If that were the case, there would be no need to add Bey, El, Al, Day, or Ali to your straw. And no need to say, do all new business in your new name. That means sign everything in your new name, even that which pertains to the old, that is old, as you are the authorized representative of the straw transmitting utility, and now you know so. Thus, when you are in your proper person and have corrected the name, you have effectuated nunc-pro-tunc, meaning now for then, the straw has always needed someone to speak for it, and if you don't, they will, as they have been doing in your ignorance of that fact. And remember, you're not the registered agent for that corporation. You're only in an authorized representative capacity due to the fact that you are being coerced and being held to operate under statute. We're not authorized to operate under statute in reality. When you look at Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, it tells you who Congress can make laws for. They can make laws, they can make rules for the government, for the land and naval forces. They can regulate commerce and other things of that nature, but none of it has to do with the common people. So if they're attaching you to this corporation and then forcing you into a process, right, that is going to harm you, it is your duty to speak up. Okay? It is your duty to speak up. And that's what is meant by authorized representative there. So let's see. As you develop, you may unfold into a spiritual attribute. Oh, I think we're actually over here. When you add your title to your straw, it immediately places you under the protection of the Moorish nation. By adding any of those titles, you have effectively corrected your name and are instructed not to do business with your old name. Do it with your new name. As you develop, you may unfold into a spiritual attribute, and you could have many appellations. An attribute describes, and since you cannot have a name, you do have an appellation. That is why you corrected the name, as names are for corporations. You now acknowledge the straw as the fraud that has been perpetrated upon you by them. Therefore, continued use of it without the use of ex-rel is admitting to the fraud.
Exactly. So it would be the registered agent, all capital letter, transmitting utility, pardon me, let me I'll rewind. It would be your free national appellation ex relatione. That's what ex-rel is short for. Ex is Latin for out of. Relatione is relation. So you know about it. It's not you, however, you know about it. Ex relatione, out of the relation to, or being one who has information about. So it would be your free national appellation, ex relatione, the transmitting utility. That would be in all capital letters. All righty. Now I put examples of that. Me was just going over earlier, and I said I put it in the Jurisprudence Gem Telegram as a file that they can download to look at it as an example. Not to, because I know it's blank lines that people are like, oh, I just got to fill it in like this. You can if you want to. You want to boilerplate it. It'll be much better typed, though, to be very honest with you. Even though, because I do have the Word document to it. However, I'm only here for sincere Moorish Americans. So forgive me, I'm not really here for the colored people or the people that think they're a part of the government. Respectfully, I'm not here for that. I'm here to, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. So I'm not going to cater to anything Negro, black, colored, and all these white people. No, we're free white persons. Our status is white. That's who I am. That's who my brothers are. We're free white person. However, we comprehend jurisprudence. That's why we're here, to share this with you guys. However, we do go to places where it's not Moorish American platforms. However, we're doing it in the spirit pertaining to, in order to change people, you must change their literature, even though we're clear that some people are going to reject the angels that are there to share with them the literature that's needed, because that's what we are. We're angels. We're death angels. However, we're angels. The death that needs to occur is your ignorance. You need to kill that ignorance. That ignorance needs to die. Being an idiot needs to die. So that mind state needs to die. It needs to go through the scorpion process of degeneration, then regeneration, respectfully. So we are death angels, and we're delivering to death right now, so that there can be life. All righty. So there's a balance there. Very Libran, that statement. All right. Would you like me to read Ex Relatione, or Brother Sean like to read? I don't know. Which one? Who reading it? Is it me? You? Who is ye? You know, no yous are here. Go ahead, Brother R. Should I read, or you want to go in on it? You're muted. You're muted again.
Yeah, Prophet Noble Drew Ali did come to redeem his people from their sinful ways, right? Ignorant ways, right? That's the death that needs to occur in Islam. Is Brother Sean hearing us right now?
Or he's still there, you know, talking about nephew. If not, I can go in on Extradione.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Islam.
All right, upon relation.
I got y'all in the air, bros.
Are you there?
Yeah, I got y'all in the air, bros.
Would
you
you like to read
that? Extradione, or you're handling something with the fam? Either way, it don't matter to us.
I'm in movement right now, but I'm in all ears though. It's fine.
No worries. Upon relation or information, right? Ex, I know in Latin means out of, or it could mean upon. Relation, relatione, right? Or information. So in other words, your free national appellation is here to present information about the transmitting utility that, and again, you know, the registered, the authorized representative cannot be held liable for the person. The authorized representative people, right, cannot be held responsible for the person, which is the entity which they try to get you to be registered agent for. So the ex relatione position is actually
they try to get you to be the registered agent and the liable one as well.
Correct, which you cannot do, because you know what that is actually saying. It's funny because when they do that, they're saying that you have a joint stock trust.
Yeah, they're cheating for sure. They're cheating.
Yeah, they're trying to say that you have legal title and beneficial title to be reprimanded.
Yeah. So you can crazy. That's like, and then on top of that, also, they have you act as like basically attorney for the corporation. So it's like, not only are they putting you into a corporate construction, they're also violating the rules and laws that regulate that in actuality. You know what I mean? Like you don't serve the CEO, you serve the registered agent. But then the registered agent doesn't show up to court, but they're going to serve you and expect you to show up and expect you to be the one that goes to jail if anything happens. Like the attorney doesn't go to jail for his client. Like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how they try to hold you to all the positions of the corporation. But then of course you don't know that they're, you know, treating you as in the status of a corporation. So it wouldn't matter anyways, because they're railroading you.
I agree. Legal proceedings, which are instituted by the Attorney General or other proper person, which is impropria persona sui juris, right? That's what I, Brother Ara, Brother Sean, Brother Corey, Brother Terrell, Senior Jackson Bay, we are in our own proper person, in our own right, impropria persona sui juris. So that's why if people speak against being impropria persona, we don't really listen to you guys because we comprehend. You're not a declared and proclaimed national. You're not Moorish American. So therefore, we're looking at you like a baby that just doesn't know any better. However, when you get the swing in, all we do is just hold your forehead. Now you're just windmilling, missing. All righty. That's just how it happens, respectfully. Legal proceedings which are instituted by the Attorney General or other proper person. That's us. We're proper person, right? In our own right. We're in our own proper person, impropria persona sui juris y suherens, also by inheritance. In the name and behalf of the state, right? The mindset, the status or standing in which, you know, is being, or there's information about. But on the information and at the instigation of an individual who has a private interest in the matter are said to be taken, quote, on the relation, end quote, ex relatione of such person who is called the relator. Some people say relator, right? We're going to say relator. Such a cause is usually entitled thus, state ex rel do v rho. So it would be, so what would the state be? Do you get that? It's saying that, okay, let's do this again. Legal proceedings which are instituted by the Attorney General or other proper person in the name and behalf of the proper person. Because the state would be your standing, your status. What's your state? What's your standing? Oh, you have an appellation. Oh, you're Hasan Ghaziel Bey. Okay, so then it would be state, then would be Hasan Ghaziel Bey. State would be Ara Muaba Bey. State would be Sean Alim L. Because that's our mindset. We're comprehending fully that we are not registered agents for a corporation. However, we do have information about, and have a little bit of, interest that shouldn't be known to anyone else. So that means there's some trespassing going on. And so we're like, okay, well, yeah, this is who I am, ex relatione, this all capital letter transmitting utility you're seeking to utilize to do banking.
You rarely see state ex rel. You
Oh,
rarely
it's there,
see
but
that.
we see it though.
No, I'm saying when they institute like for example, traffic court cases against someone, you don't see, it's usually state versus, and then the being that they're treating as a registered agent for the corporation. You don't ever see ex rel. So it's like, hold on, are you claiming to be the governor on the other side, or are you state ex rel? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. In the books pertaining to reports, when a falling, because that's what a case is, right? When a case is said to be reported ex relatione, it is meant that the reporter derives his account of it, not from personal knowledge, but from the relation or narrative pertaining to some person who has who was present at the argument. So it's like Geppetto ex relatione Pinocchio. Like Pinocchio is he's not Pinocchio, but he's got information about it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and so like, and when I see this now, I just think of Rule 601, 602, right? I think it's Rule 602, Rules of Evidence.
Rules of evidence, having firsthand knowledge. Which one was that one with definitions? Which rule was that? Or that was just definitions early when I read 2B, or was it B2? Definitions for court. Just want to know
yeah, hold on. Did I close it? I think I might have closed it, but I can pull it back up real quick.
No worries. I just wanted. Oh, you added the PDF. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So and it's actually, hold on. It's Rule 1.
Got you. Title 1, applicability. It's under applicability. How does this apply?
Yeah, it's Rule 1B2.
Rule 1. Title 1, Rule 1B2. Got you. Just wanted to make sure we saw that there.
Indeed. So yeah, going to the federal rules of evidence, which we actually went over on Impromptu Improv this week.
Mm-hmm.
A holy day.
It's Friday, yep.
Reiterate right here, 602, Rule 602. Need for personal knowledge. A witness may testify to a matter only if evidence is introduced sufficient to support a finding that the witness has personal knowledge of the matter. Evidence to prove personal knowledge may consist of the witness's own testimony, right, where they have to have witnessed it. This rule does not apply to witnesses' expert testimony under Rule 703, of course. That's a different scenario, but going back over here, it was saying not from personal knowledge, right? So that would be ex relación. Not correct. It's someone who has information with regard to that, but in the sense of a reporter deriving their account of it, not from personal knowledge, right? This is dealing with in books of reports, right? This is not dealing with witness testimony.
But yeah, somebody that's just journaling what happened.
Indeed. I think it could still be ex relación if they were actually there too.
Correct.
So back over here, right? So the UCC 3 filing is where people list their property and themselves as the first lien holder of said property. The truth is they are not the first lien holder because they are usually still paying for the property and being taxed by the corporation in such a way that if they miss one payment, the property is taken away. To own property free and clear of liens is to have allodial property.
Right.
The Constitution protects your right to be secure with your property, so you don't need a UCC filing for that. Mortgage means dead promise or dead pledge, and that is exactly what it is. You never own it because even after you finish paying, quote unquote, because you can't pay anything with a promissory note, the mortgage, if you fail to, quote unquote, pay the fraudulently imposed taxes, and it is fraudulently imposed, they will take the property from you. You must have or create an allodial title in regards to allodial property. The mortgage companies are nothing more than the third party acting as a trustee for what is your estate in the first
place. They're double dipping the chip.
UCCs are in regard to contracts. Therefore, it is good to know them and to know how to contract. See how to contract on the open readings page on this site. An interesting fact is if there ever is any dispute regarding the UCCs, it is gauged by the established rule of law, the Constitution. Officers, government officials, judges, etc., take an oath to uphold the Constitution. They do not take an oath to uphold UCCs. To have any dispute brought to court, the contract or law in which you have violated must be produced, and the contract is the law. Because how are you holding someone to something that they didn't agree to? Pruden versus Neal.
Correct.
If they didn't consent, there has to be a contract where one consented. And then, like it says, to have any dispute, right, that would be a controversy, that would be a cause of action brought to court, right? The contract or law in which you have violated must be produced. And then remedy is sought after. So even if they say, one might say, well, they did produce the law when they made their complaint and they said so-and-so violated this statute, which is against the peace and dignity of the state. So they did produce the law. Did they produce where you agreed to that law? Oh, you're a sovereign citizen. You think the law doesn't apply to you? Hold on. The contract is the law. The contract is what one is being held to. So, no, I'm not a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron, first and foremost. However, I am one who understands contract law and understands that if there's no agreement or no contract, one cannot be held to perform to some void obligation, some non-existent obligation, which would essentially not be an obligation, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, first, there must be a contract in place. Is there? Is there? Is there?
Is there?
The section of the UCC that governs contracts, securities, etc., is Section 8. Most people don't know this, and they focus on Section 1 and 3. However, there must first exist a contract. Upon review, you will see that there is no valid contract. However, all those who make these UCC agreements are making a contract and binding themselves when they weren't bound before. That's embarrassing. I know that's gotta suck. Like, you thought you were freeing yourself and you put yourself further into bondage.
Islam, bro. Travel safely. Peace and love.
Peace and love, bro. As well, they are doing so in a supposed conscious political and social status. Oh yeah, you're so conscious, right? And state of mind, which makes it even worse. Yeah, because you're saying I'm competent, I'm of the age of the majority, and I know exactly what I'm doing, as to before I didn't know what I was doing, and now I'm gonna competently put myself into the fraud. Like, that makes no sense. In other words, you're being seriously laughed at. Oh wow, we just laughed at that too. Yes. While those you paid a filing fee to are getting their pockets fat, it is pretty obvious and accurate that the UCCs have been a carrot that has not shown the desire and lasting effects one hoped for. You must recognize who government, corporation, state, right, you are contracting with to hold and protect your property. You ought to know you're not the first lien holder. Some may have utilized the UCCs and gotten, Some may have utilized the UCCs and gotten what appears to be success, which was fleeting. They simply have changed the game. In fact, not long ago, after many began contracting their birthrights away, they changed the index of UCC 2-103 and 1-201. They changed one of them to 1-308. See what I mean? Since many were signing 103 and 201 and never read or knew what either of them really meant, they didn't know the difference and would follow a certain demise.
Because they still utilizing things that aren't identified that way within the Uniform Commercial Codes by the Uniform Law Commission and the American Law Institute.
Just like that, the federal statute, United States Code, that identifies what property a bank can hold. They changed it from 7.1000 to 7.1024.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So then, in short, or lawman's terms, one of them meant you will not enter into any contract that is not in harmony with common law, and the other that you will not enter into any contract that has adhesions and is not in full disclosure. These UCCs were only used as signatures for the purposes of bringing any contract back to the Constitution and law. Exactly. UCC 1-308 is acceptance under reservation of rights, meaning, all right, I accept the terms of this contract. However, I don't accept anything in this contract that is in violation of my rights. And that means if I'm UCC 1-308, a contract that doesn't have my appellation on it, then I don't agree to any of it because I have the right to a name and nationality. And so, yeah. Thus, the use of them was a safeguard to that end. The Constitution does not interfere with anyone's right to contract, right? They cannot change the Constitution, which is the very thing that gives them authority, a limited authority at that. This is why we have all been instructed, divinely instructed, to enforce the Constitution. It is the supreme law of the land, not the UCCs. This is also why they steer you away from it, because they are bound to it. See, we're supposed to be getting away from what the ULC is creating. These people are running to what the ULC created.
When we should be making them stick to what they're bound to, and that's the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Should be holding these people to, we are to enforce it, enforce the Constitution. So you keep those that are bound to it within their bounds. I yield.
Right, unless you wish to and willingly enter into a contract being the operative word regarding commerce. And that is the purpose of this article, to let you know that you have the right to contract however you wish to. However, be careful and remember that your sovereignty is not for sale. It cannot be bought, sold, or transferred. It cannot be alienated.
It is an unalienable right, period, because like water produces wet, nationality produces sovereignty. So you can't go get a sovereignty package. You can't really say that you don't have to be something for the record because you don't have to do that. That's fine, and it's true. However, the paramount claim, because this is all over the world, is you must honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days are long upon the earth land. And we are those ancient foremothers and forefathers returned. We that sincerely are clear and give to our peers on the record, which means we're declaring and proclaiming our nationality. In other words, that we know we come from our mother's womb. We're not a part of some group, a part of some building with some organization. We're clear that no one is higher than our mother or us. And once we're at the age pertaining to majority, we're clear that there is no institution that can bound us to anything, for all we're bound to is nature's law. This is why we're Astro Masons, period. We're never going to move from that. And when people speak against that, we know that they just haven't come across what we've come across yet. So we kind of laugh about you.
Yeah.
Not
yeah, I was gonna say,
but we know better.
Indeed, I was gonna add to your wisdom there, because I know there are some beings out there that say nationality has nothing to do with anything. If you want to be free, you're born free. Well, hold on, because we already know nationality comes from your mother. Period. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't come from an organization, and that nativity is tied to inheritability. And that's where nationality is very, very important. That's what these people are failing to realize, is that if you, like you just said, nationality produces sovereignty. They say, oh, what is he? He's saying, once I say I'm Moorish American, then I'm sovereign. No, remember, the nationality came from your mother. So once you come out the womb and your mother nationalizes you. Your mother's the one that's really nationalizing you by pushing you out the womb and crowning you. She put that fez on you. She put that fez on you when you were manifested in flesh.
Correct.
So with that being said, that is where you gain your sovereignty, and that is where you gain your inheritability. Your inheritance comes from that. See what I'm saying? Islam.
So therefore, then that means when we declare to proclaim our nationality and we have on our national headdress and garments, we're just basically saying we're clear who we are, and we have no problem not only being clear in our minds about it, but also, quote unquote, publishing it. And publishing can and is in what we wrote and put on the record, as well as how we demonstrate and present, and how we actually present self in our writings and correspondences, in our lives on YouTube, in our interactions with beings via Zoom or telephone or wherever we are on the earth plane, Asha. That is always a proclamation. We are clear, we are declared, and we're letting you know, we're letting our peers know out loud, which is a proclamation, by declaring and proclaiming our nationality for the record, as well as really honoring our mother by having our fez on our head, mothers having their turbans on their head. All right. This is not some group think join by conversion. This is you being clear that since you know no one is higher than you and your mother, then why not be it for real? In other words, if you saw somebody with knee-high boots, coochie cutters, and a halter top, you might be like, oh, that's a hoe, that's a prostitute right there. Why? Because there's a proclamation in the presentation.
Right, and that goes to embody, like once you know that and you put that on paper, or you declare it to the universe, or you file it somewhere to let people know, I'm not what you think I am. I'm not the registered agent for the fiction that you guys created when I was born sovereign. I'm not any of that. You're actually just letting them know that you know the jig is up, and you're claiming back that which is already yours. Another form of declaring that or expressing that is to be that which you know and embody that. So like you were saying, if you see one obviously displaying themselves a particular way, then it is clear that they are embodying principles, right, that actually represent, you know, a thing or two, right? So they might be not necessarily be, you know, a streetwalker or something like that, you know, a night walker, night crawler, whatever they want to call them, right? They might be playing a prank, or they might be trying to fool someone, but at the end of the day, that is the first perception that is going to be thought of in most people's minds due to the reputation of that, right?
It's just like that. To your wisdom on Netflix, there's a presentation called Walk of Shame. And this girl's supposed to be like a goody good, right? It's an Albion daughter. She goes out with the other Albion daughter friends of hers, and she's like, go and put on this, you know, girl's dress. You're just gonna have a great time. We need to get you, you know, feeling better. And throughout the whole movie, she's being looked at as something that she isn't in her mind. However, because of how she is physically presented, she is treated in that presentation. She has on this yellow dress and these high heels, and the whole time people think she's a prostitute.
And that's a hypnosis that one needs to be able to discern past. Just because you see someone wearing a uniform with a badge on, don't you assume that they're above you. If you know no one's above you and your mother, you shouldn't see a shiny piece of metal and your heart start beating and your underarm starts sweating and shit. You shouldn't.
And knees start quaking. Oh my God.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You know what I mean? You should probably first research what one's actual duty is in whatever official capacity they're portraying to operate in. and then know what that is and then hold them to that, right? I'm going to continue this real quick. All right, there are groups who are instructing people to first claim their nationality and then wrap themselves and their properties in UCCs. They seemingly advertise this activity. Take notice that first, they want you to claim your nationality status, which, as a national, is the highest ranking status in the land. And status is the first issue at law.
Well, remember, what's the highest title or status to have in the land?
National. And remember,
national. That's what we are.
What we're doing is we're claiming that we know that we came from the womb. We came from in Winter Sameri is where we coming from. we coming from the womb. So we're acknowledging that we're thoughts of Allah manifested in the flesh, which means, yes, we know we're sovereign, not in the sense of a sovereign citizen, in the sense of knowing that I self-law and master. If I didn't enter into any contracts, I have no obligation.
Hold on, and not that bullshit website called I self-law and master. I said it. You can tell them Brother Hasan said it.
Yeah, I'm talking about Islam as an acronym. I self-law and master, not associated with any other websites or anything.
It's on principle. Go ahead, I yield.
So they first want you to claim your national status. So they want you to claim your nationality, which is claiming that you know that you're free, right? You know that you're born free, no one above you and your mother. See what I'm saying? And then, which is the highest ranking status in the land, and status is the first issue at law. Then they ask you to demote your status by transferring it and securing it in a UCC commerce contract. How do you gain sovereignty, right? You were already sovereign. You were already sovereign when you were born. But how do you? I would like to me personally just kind of replace that word gain with acknowledge. How do you acknowledge your sovereignty that you already were born with? Look, actually, she said it. She told you right there. How do you gain sovereignty that you were already born with? A better question: how do you lose sovereignty you were born with? Maybe you thought you were securing things.
Hey, yo, I can hear Mother Roz's voice as you're reading it. Not your voice being Mother Rosa, but I can just hear her voice. I can just hear her voice, yo, and that's funny as fuck. Maybe you thought you were securing things. Like, yo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You talking about Mother Ross? Mother Ross? Maybe they thought they were securing things. I could hear her for real.
Oh my God, so funny, yo. Oh my God. Go ahead, I yield, bro. I yield.
Yeah. No, that's hilarious. Yet the Constitution already secures your property. Article 4. Everything we thought I think she meant, well, is that Article 4 or Amendment 4? So-called amendment.
Always secure your property. To be securing your person, houses, papers, and effects. That is Bill of Rights number 4.
Bill of Rights 4. Yeah.
However, what also secures your property, if it was Article 4, is the fact that you brought it up, Article 4, Section 4, that we're talking about a Republican form of government that is to be guarded against invasion.
That too, indeed.
So it's very invasive for you to go and contract your sovereignty away that you already had. Once your mother didn't decide to abort you or swallow you first, but if she didn't swallow you and you were implanted and now moored to the endometrium, which lines her uterus, right? Once she didn't abort you, guess what? Then you're crowned after the cervix dilates 10 centimeters. So why in the entire Phuket, Thailand, are you doing anything other than knowing how to stand being national? It's just that we're clear that when Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought it back, there was no more Science Temple of America. When Prophet Noble Drew Ali was like, hey, look, I've studied enough to recognize we're all Moors on the planet. So let me go to these people that need me the most because they're really out of fucking order. And they're out of order at the center, at the hub of the universe. North America, here at Amexum, is the hub of the universe. You ain't got to believe me, please. Believe nothing I say. Try to prove it wrong. And I can't wait till you prove it right, because you're not going to be able to find anything. And that's not discouraging you. We're just clear on who we are. That's why we're taking you back to where we got started 8 years ago. And when I say 8 years ago, I'm talking about me. However, when I speak about me, I'm speaking about my brothers also, because what I have, I share completely so we all can have it in some way, shape, or form, no matter where we are in our comprehension thus far. However, you come inside these cancel clause, you're protected. But you better make sure you show yourself approved, because I don't do no babysitting. Neither does Brother Aura or any of my brothers. We don't do no babysitting.
Indeed.
I yield.
Yeah, I think she was actually referencing this, which I could see how the mix-up could happen. Amendment article, right? Mm-hmm. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches. Right.
Not to cut you off, but sovereignty would be an effect. I yield. And a effect with the A. Go ahead, I yield.
Indeed. And people and persons is distinguished.
Yes, it is.
The right of the people. It's not the right of the persons, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches. That means your mind too. They can't be asking you questions. You don't got to answer no questions. They're trying to search your mind.
Do they have a mind search warrant?
Right. And seizures. Okay. They can't take you, your house, your paperwork. You know what I mean? Your ideas. They can't take your stuff.
They can't take your fez off. They can't take your badges or pins off or buttons.
Yeah, without your consent.
They can't tackle you to a guardrail, especially if you're wearing a black fez. You shouldn't have no turban wrapped around it. But however, I know how to read from the law, man. There will be Moors wearing turbans and fezes. So Moors that wear turbans and fezes, not talking bad about you, only letting you know what Prophet Noble Drew has put out there. Pick one. Because if you're wearing a turban and a fez, you now have a dual mindset to sell people back into slavery. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the Prophet, which probably shows you already are, because those that were with him 2,000 years ago are with him today, and those that are against him 2,000 years ago are against him today. So we're just the messenger. However, I yield.
Shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause. And again, warrants for who? Those who the laws apply to. Without your consent, they can't issue no warrant for you. There should be no warrant issued for one who's not consented to be adjudicated under statute.
Correct.
But upon probable cause, there's that probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So Mother Roz was stating here that maybe you thought you were securing things, yet the Constitution already secures your property at the 4th Bill of Rights. So
right, go now. Can you do me a favor and go back to that Constitution and go to Article 4, Section 4 real quick?
Oh, yes.
Or we can read all of Article 4 in that, because the people's bill, what's owed to them, that's why it's called a Bill of Rights. It's what's owed to you, right? All right, and so that's the Bill of Rights for. When you go into Article 4, there's full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every state. And Congress may, by general laws, prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved and the effect thereof. Do you see effect again? And then you read that and think about Bill of Rights 4. The articles are for the people that decide to sit board or commission, a board or a commission. So it's a group of people, and the Articles 1 through 7 govern that board.
Right.
And Bill of Rights 1 through 10 is what's owed to the people by said board.
All corporations have constitutions and bylaws.
Period.
So this is the Constitution for the United States Corporation.
Correct. So the citizens, which means the debtors of the United States, the U's of each state, the debtors of the United States of each state shall be entitled to all privileges, and immunities pertaining to citizens in the several states. A person charged in any state with treason. Look at that. We were just talking about the ULC committing treason with their Uniform Commercial Codes and their Landlord-Tenant Acts. That's treason, for the record. So they are to be charged, right? Because that's what it is right now. We're even saying it. Just us saying that that's treason. That's us charging them with fucking treason. Why? Because isn't the state, again, the state ex relación, remember that state? Hasan Ghaziel Bey is saying, for the record, treason, felony, or other crime, who shall flee from justice. What, didn't it show that they're not doing Congress enacted things, but yet proposing something secondary? I said, flee from justice and be found in another state. Like, we don't want to be in the Congress state of mind with enacted General Assembly type stuff. We want to be in a state of making up uniform laws and shit.
There's a lot of so-called attorneys and police men that do that. They break laws, they get kicked out of whatever, they get suspended, and then they go to another so-called state, and then they continue their practice there. They flee in order to continue railroading the people. Like they can jump, they can do it 50 times if they wanted to, right?
Correct. What I will also add is, this is the extradition clause to me. This section is like, because they go one place and they running from this. No, let's extradite them and bring them up on it. They should be delivered up on the claim and party pertaining to the party to whom such service or labor may be due. So in other words, that's contracting.
Hit them with
There's
that
a contract right there. Whoa, man, you owe this. You are to fulfill this obligation.
Hit them with that Mortal Kombat Scorpion. Get over here.
Period. We can go to 3, because I think I got the gist of 2, because we're still talking about how this is tying in with Bill of Right 4 and what Mother Roz was saying when she said Article 4. However, I'm going to show the joinder that it's both Bill of Right 4, which Brother R just presented, and Article 4. New states, new mindsets may be admitted by the Congress into this union. Sounds like a treaty to me. But no new state shall be formed or erected. No new state. Uniform, that UCC shouldn't exist. Shall be formed or erected.
But they already did this.
Any other state. Say that again.
They already violated that when they created Washington, D.C.
Come on now. I mean, let's just really think about that.
They don't qualify Washington, D.C. as a state. That's why. They don't call it a state.
Because it's a Bank of Columbia.
It's a bank.
District is. Because district is bank.
Right. No, indeed. You're absolutely correct.
So within the jurisdiction of any other state. So in other words, now you have the Uniform Law Commission proposing state laws within a state, and not supposed to be doing that, but it's happening because people like people are in fucking Egypt. That's the mind state that they're in. You want to know that the state that the people are in? It's Egypt, Misraim, which according to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, Egypt or Misraim is mental bondage to sense consciousness. So since they're mentally in bondage, which means slavery, they're in slavery to materialism. Oh shit, man, my wife gonna be, man, I'm gonna lose this warm piece of pussy and we ain't gonna have a family. So, I just better go and find a way to go along and get along with indentured service and just adopt these unconstitutional forms and erections. Pause. Nor any state be formed by the junction of 2 or more states or parts of states without that. So look. What's the junction when there's already union? Why uniform them? There aren't supposed to be any formed or erected new states. So Why are you one forming it? Uniform. Why? There's already a union.
Yeah, they're creating a commission. What they're doing is, it's like somebody got beef with someone else. If I do something to them, they gonna know it's me. If I send my brother, they gonna know it's me. Let's send someone that the people don't know. So what they're doing is they're trying to escape from the consequences of what they're doing by having an outside group create and draft legislation. They're saying that they're drafting proposed bills, but we already know these people are technically drafting up laws as if they're the legislature, and then using their persuasion, using their finance, using their connections to get these things passed on a uniform level throughout all the states. And what they're drafting is really what's being proposed and being adopted is creating a cartel of commerce, because it's what it's doing is, think about the Landlord Tenant Act. Nobody's supposed to be homeless. Nobody's supposed to be getting kicked out of their homes, but they created that Landlord Tenant Act, and it was adopted on all the states level. But the only people that are supposed to be paying, renting a house or a building, is one that is using it in a commercial capacity for a business opportunity. So, hey, I need this house. We're going to start an Airbnb. That's a business opportunity. You got to pay rent. Hey, I need this building. We're going to start a garage. We're going to work on cars. We're going to promote these services. Okay, you got to pay power bill there, because you're using the electricity not for the basic necessities of life, but you're using it to play Monopoly. And I say Monopoly because lawful money is not in circulation as the government's money right now, or as the government currency or whatnot at the moment. So I say Monopoly because they're using this fake paper money. So therefore, there are no laws to make people homeless. There's only laws to evict business owners from the buildings from which they're operating their businesses.
Correct.
And that's because you don't need to own a gym. You don't need to own a retail store. You don't need any of that. Only thing you need is food, clothing, and shelter. And you
back to being a registered agent. I yield.
Yeah, and your rights to whatever, you know what I mean, own property or whatever. It doesn't say you have the right to contract. It doesn't say you have the right to own a corporation. Well, they might say, yeah, you do have the right to start a corporation or whatever. That's not a necessity of life. People they got you thinking it's a necessity of life now because they're making everyone pay rent and bills when it was only for those engaged in commerce. Why in the world would the people start the government? Why in the world would the people create a government, raise them to a certain sovereign power, right? And then allow them to tell them how they got to live, in order for you to live, everyone has to play Monopoly? I don't think so. To the point where the babies can't eat. You in your own home, you would not charge your son or your daughter, you got to pay me for every plate you eat, your 3 meals a day. Well, we shouldn't be eating 3 meals a day or whatever, but your 2 meals, 3 meals, 1 meal, whatever you eat a day. Imagine the mother and father charging the child. But guess what? That child is being charged because they're being charged through the mother and father. The mother and father is not getting free food for that child. And don't tell me it's free because they got food stamps, because you had to enter into contracts to get those cards that you're swiping at the store that's allowing you to get food. It's not free. Your contract, you're really giving up a whole lot when you do that. It's the same as doing that UCC filing. You're giving up your sovereignty.
Correct. Unless you know how to live within that contract, so to speak, and reserve your rights in the sense not that, oh, you're reserving something you never had before. When I speak, like I know I give an example of you're reserving a table. It's not that I don't have it. The table is completely mine. What I'm saying is don't let nobody else get it.
Right.
Don't let anybody else have claim to what is rightfully mine. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States. In Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, right?
Right.
And
Seat of government and place of purchase.
Say that again.
Seat of government and places purchased.
Correct. Which would annotated as Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17.2. And nothing in this withstanding, that's what Constitution is, shall be construed as to prejudice. Remember, I told you earlier before we got on, I said, I look at prejudice. The word prejudice is the same way as saying simulating judicial process.
Prejudice.
Yeah.
Before the backstabbing.
Yeah. As to prejudice, any claims pertaining to the United States or any particular state. 4, the United States shall guarantee in every state in this union a Republican form. So what is these? Go scroll back up to, what was that, 2? Was that 2 or 3? I think it was 2. No, it was 3. No states may be admitted by the Congress into this new states, may be admitted by the Congress into this union, but no new state shall be formed. Why? Because it's already a union, which is a Republican form of government that must be upheld, which means the people need to know how to prevent people from forming and erecting new mindsets where there's already an established union. We the people, we the Emperor of Morocco, right? That's what we the people of the United States. In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings, I'll say blessings, pertaining to liberty to ourselves and our posterity, that's the youth, do ordain and establish this Constitution. Some people say, well, it's not for you. Let me tell you what it really is. It's a rules and engagement that our ancestors, after sitting around a fire, when you're talking about the Haudenosaunee, that the French call Iroquois, or Iroquois, some people say, Iroquois Constitution. It is Guyana-Shagoa. It's not the Iroquois Constitution. It's Guyana-Shagoa, given by the Haudenosaunee, which they call the Iroquois. Alrighty, so let's just be complete with what the Great Law of the Peace is, and where we're able to even read this section 4, because it's derived its divine energy from that, which is the Great Law of the Peace, not the Great Law of the Nuisance.
Right.
Not the Great Uniform Law Commission. Fuck that. Fuck them.
Right.
Respectfully. So the United States shall guarantee to every state, every mindset in this union, because we're all here together on this planet, a Republican form of measuring one's own mind, of moving one, being able to turn your own helm and allow the rudder on the sea pertaining to life, even though we're not doing maritime law. But when you're talking about the Latin gubernaculum, which is a rudder attached to that which is attached to the helm, so that you can be able to guide yourself and turn accordingly. How are you standing? Because with your feet, you'll turn, along with your hips and other things also. Right? You want to talk about Moorish rudder and sextant. And shall protect each of them against invasion and shall protect each of them. So any more Americans that are clear, declare to proclaim, they're not trying to be slick and still post Negro black colored stuff because they still want to spoon feed people that, oh, well, we got to make sure all the other people get it. How much babysitting do you do?
Yeah, no, what's so hard to get? It's not that they don't get it, it's that they don't want to get it. Because once they realize they gotta stop clinging to those names and principles that dilute to slavery, they go back to sleep.
Correct. They be like, oh shit, man, I gotta really read and really comprehend this shit and stand on my own square. Well, let me ask you this. Are you gonna let somebody punch you in your motherfucking mouth? And you gonna be a bitch and not do nothing?
You can't do that to me. No, I'm a real one out here. Well, you're getting punched in the mouth every day by these people who are claiming to be government.
Mental bondage to sense consciousness, because you're too damn worried about defending yourself physically and you can't defend yourself mentally, which makes you an idiot.
Sheesh.
Don't be mad at me. Again, be upset with how things are set. We're just telling the truth. Why? Because we took our time to not be fucking douchebags and study this shit and not be bigger and better than studying this. Mother Ras Mariah, Brother Taj, and I gotta admit, like a lot of the wisdom that Brother Taj got coming from Mother Rashida Bey, her sharing, Brother Clifford E. Hazel. Some people say Clifford E. Hazel L. Some people say Brother Clifford E. Hazel Bey. My Mother Rashida says is Brother Clifford E. Hazel Bey. However, at the same time, if that's the case, then people in certain so-called ancient free Moorish rights who should be putting Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the forefront. Don't be mad at me. I got 2 tokens. One here. Let me go for the one that's in my pocket because I get sent tokens. Let's just be clear. I get sent tokens. This was the gift. So don't think I don't know what's going on. I'm clear, very clear. Do not get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We need the light out on this one so you can really see. Don't get it twisted. That's why Hasan Ghaziel Bey is just Bey, not Ghaziel Bey. Because I'm clear. Alrighty, I'm clear and not making foolish mistakes. There's too many of us doing prima donna bullshit out here. Not comprehending that which Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought us to strengthen, which is enforce the Constitution, because we're too busy wanting to be Masonic slicksters. Shut the fuck up and do what we need to do for the people collectively on the planet. Who are you talking to? Whichever one of you are out there thinking you're greater, grander, better than, look at my apron and let me stand like this with all of my brothers looking like what? Fezless beings with 2 appellations, El Bey. You're supposed to be a doctor. Stop it. I don't care who, I don't care what you do. Can you imagine me always going off of my glory stories of what I did in the past? These are the things that I did in the past. This is why everybody should respect me. I know what I did these past 8 years. Most of you Moors can't even comprehend how it got done. That doesn't make me better than you. That means I know how to follow instruction. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. I'm not looking to be slick with Federal Reserve notes, so I gotta find a slicker way to be national and still be a Federal Reserve agent, because you know what I'm saying, Mo? Know what I'm saying, Mo? We still need to be able to take care of the rent, Mo. Shut the fuck up. Respectfully. You're the problem. That's why we're reading this. Because you guys are proud. A lot of you are grown. A lot of you are elders, maybe a little older than us, in your late 40s, 50s, 60s. And you sat there and tried to find every way to be against Mother Ras Mariah, every way to be against Brother Taj, every way to find something wrong with Mother Rashida. Oh, man, she's a bully. Shut the fuck up. Get some fucking balls and a backbone. And stand with us, man, because all that punk shit is going to keep this bullshit going. I yield, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying, bro. People need to take it serious. I don't know what they think. Oh, all I gotta do is. It reminds me of that phrase. I don't gotta do nothing but be black and die. Like,
You're
wait,
already
what?
dead when you're black.
Yeah, like what do you? But no, I bring that up due to the fact that like people think I don't gotta do nothing but go to work and pay my bills. That's how people really act because they think that's like the esquire between them and their liberation. It's like you're so preoccupied with chasing Federal Reserve notes in order to pay your tithe to Rome that you don't even realize you're paying a tithe to Rome and that you're breaking the law and that you're going against everything that you were created to do. Like you was not made manifested in flesh to just serve a greedy man. You know what I mean? Like greedy men. Like that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to honor your mothers and fathers. Why are you paying tithes to foreigners? Why not? If you're gonna hustle that hard, why don't you do it for your mothers and fathers? And don't say you chasing the bag, getting Federal Reserve notes, and buying your mama a house is giving it to your mom or doing it for your mothers and fathers or honoring your mothers and fathers, because it's not. A debt pledge, a mortgage is not getting your mother into a mortgage or getting yourself into a mortgage for your mother is not honoring your mothers and fathers. You're going along to get along with slavery.
Say that again. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Going along, getting along with bondage, slavery, mental bondage to sense consciousness. I'm going to continue this. Everything we thought a commercial contract would protect and secure is already done in the supreme law of the land. Why not follow it? Why not follow it? Right.
They
Clearly,
walk right past that man. Because they're too busy looking for Jesus. All right, anyway, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
No justice, no peace. No peace. And walk right past the prophet.
Walk right past Prophet Noble Drew Ali because they too busy going, no, that's that Moor stuff. But what we need to do is talk about our peanut butter sandwiches. Right. Stop abandoning the platform. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Clearly, there are true criminals abound who are trying with all of their might, and I can assure you they're trying with all of their might because I've enforced the Constitution. I've stood up to those who claim that they're in these seats of power and that they're the ones who administer this and this and that. And I've seen them war against the Constitution in writing and in peril. I've seen them I've heard them orally, face to face, tell me they don't recognize these things, which they're only sitting that seat because the oath they took to defend that which they say they don't recognize.
That sounds like infiltration.
Oh, yes. Who are trying with all of their might to make sure you do not find your hidden treasures, your lost estate, which is secured in the Constitution as established in the supreme rule of the land. If you actually have property, it is already secured. If you actually have property, because some people get property and then they register it to the state and then don't even realize that they're not performing the functions of public office and that they're not using their property in the performance of the functions of a public office, 50% of its use, and that they're not recording it as commercial use. You know, I delivered these goods on Monday from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Like, we're not doing that. Why are you registering your car with these people? Because they told you to. Okay, so admit that you're ignorant. You do not know. Get with some Moors that are doing well, doing good, and help them do better. Like,
and stop trying to use your, well, I did a bit and now I'm coming home and now I'm seeing these type videos that y'all doing. There's time you ain't know too, motherfucker. No, that's not true. Because those that were with Prophet Noble Drew Ali 2,000 years ago are with him today. Didn't I say that already? Those that are against Prophet Noble Drew Ali 2,000 years ago are against him today. That's why the Helios Bibliotech term, the Holy Bible says, there it says, after me, this is supposed to be Jesus talking, right? After me will come a spirit that will teach you and remind you of all things. Keyword, teach and remind. Really remind. Remind. Okay, just making sure. So you can look, all your physical toughness is bullshit. It's bullshit to me.
That spirit, that's real quick to add to your wisdom. That spirit that you said is going to come and remind is the brothers from the east, your brothers from the east, because remind. Because if you need to be reminded, you must be out of your mind. So you got to go back in your mind. So that means you got to go back within, which is east, which would be your brothers from the east, right?
Chapter 1, man will regain his lost estate in a conflict that can't be told in words. Because how many times are we out here presenting and people still be like, damn, there's so much information on the website. And I can, ooh, man, please help me. I can't do this. Really?
But you can watch arguing for 4 hours straight.
You can watch arguing. You can watch controversy. You can watch somebody else read you a book that you're not reading on some social media platform. You can sit there and watch controversy between other Moors who are out of order, who shouldn't be arguing and bickering. And then you hear us, let me just say, you hear Brother Hasan tell you, shut the fuck up. After 8 years of going, guys, look, here it is right here. Hey guys, here it is. I'm not cursing you out as much as I'm saying, tell your lower self to shut the fuck up and allow your higher self to do what it needs to do for yourself, provided you don't have parasites inside of you controlling your thinking.
I'm just going to go over here to these guys who put the message on a pillow and blow it into my ear because you guys are a little too. I thought you guys were 7 heel star astrology soft. I didn't know you were astrology firm. Do you want to live in a house made of straw, a house made of cotton, or a house made of bricks? So when that big bad wolf comes by and gets to blowing shit, you won't be sitting out there in 30-degree weather talking about, I just wanted to be comfortable in my, with all the soft shit that you wish to be comforted with. Get out of your comfort zone.
Stop being easily offended. My brother just told you, get out your south node and go towards your north node.
I got north node in Capricorn, so I ain't fucking around
at all. You got to be going towards your soul's destiny is towards structure, towards land and farming. Actually, even though real estate is controlled, or mining in the land is controlled by Cancer. However, Cancer and Capricorn are there on an axis with one another, so they're reflectionary. I yield.
Question. Wow. Because there's one more paragraph. Hold on. There's one more paragraph in this writing, and then it's Taj's writing about the UCC. So do we save that for a part 2, or do we go extra hard on them and just keep going?
I ain't going front. I can see this going to be a couple of parts. So we can do a RV Bey publication. A RV Bey jurisprudence, page part 2. I don't care, but I'm still in it to win it. It's 5:54 Eastern.
It's not long. I guess we can read this one too.
Yeah, because Brother Taj goes in on this. So let's read. What is Brother Taj saying? Let
me finish this last paragraph. It says, if you are conscious and bear a free national name, and then contract it away in UCC packages, you now have a contract where before you did not. Thus, you are consciously and willingly a part of the fraud. The young and yet unborn, who will fare better as they will know not to entangle themselves with unpure contracts. Now, regarding the UCCs, all right, and I don't know if you want to give me a second. I got to relieve myself. The restaurant, be right back.
You're good. Regarding the UCCs by Brother Taj Tariq Bey, keep in mind that the commercial codes, right, the uniform commercial codes, essentially and factually means, quote, codes for trafficking, end quote, and quote, to carry on trade, end quote. Now, if you guys were to go to, again, shout out to those at the Jurisprudence Gym, Mother Malika, Sonny, Keith, and Bobby, and all the other loved ones in the jurisprudence community. I remember when Keith had brought up in one of those videos, right, in the jurisprudence traffic blocking, right? It's in the video section, not the file section. About 45-minute video, and Keith drills in Title 26 United States Code, Section 7701H, and H is in parentheses. We already know Title 26 is the Internal Revenue Code. So if you're not volunteering to do internal revenue coding, why are you carrying on trade or business, which is defined as being performing functions pertaining to public office? Trade or business is performing functions pertaining to public office. Do you have a delegated authority from anybody in the executive branch to do service corporation stuff? What you think is, are you? No, not, okay, cool. Okay, it's not the service corporation stuff. Okay, oh, you're doing de jure stuff. Okay, if you're doing de jure stuff, then that means you are national, carrying out nature's law that may have and can be and is in some instances codified in other constitutions. The first constitution you need to be looking at is your own genethliacal figure, your own tropic genethliacal figure, which people call natal charts. So are you trafficking and carrying on trade by performing functions pertaining to public office, which allows you to sit here and enforce uniform commerce EL codes? My first question to you is, quote, do you have a clear understanding of what birthrights and unalienable rights are? End quote. Are you aware? Hey, yo, here's Brother Corey, yo. It literally says, are you aware? Are you aware that unalienable rights cannot be transferred to or sold to another? Question mark. Commercial codes did not become uniform until about 1968, with Texas State Republic officials bowing like some bitches to pressure and agreeing to play the state of Texas fraud game of commercializing or trading the natural people's rights.
Yeesh.
So it's human trafficking and racketeering, actually. I know I said a lot before this. However, I wanted to unfold because we need to make sure you have concepts that are there on the record where you can stop this, run it back, take notes.
Oh yeah, I can already see I'm gonna make a lot of clips out of this video.
You already, bro. We're gonna have some fun B-rolling. Alrighty, let's start over. Commercial codes did not become uniform, quote unquote, until 1968. The Texas State Republic bent over like a hoe to the pressure and allowed themselves to lay in bed and agree to play the state of Texas. That sounds like a violation of Article 4, Section 3, which we just read. There aren't to be any new states doing shit like that. You already got a state republic, so Article 4, Section 4 guarantees the state republic. What the fuck is this state of shit? But right. Someone capitulating.
Right.
And there aren't to be any treaties made with it. There's no interstate treaties. Capitulation and treaty is the same fucking thing. I don't care what you say.
Right.
Islam. Okay. State of Texas fraud game pertaining to commercializing or trading the natural people's rights, converting them into privileges, in collusion with the other compromised state officials and politicians. That's why Brother R was like, well, it's the governor's fault. Yes, the substitute they, yes, allowing this to happen, they need to be fucking hung. Hey, you guy that just got elected back on November 8th during the lunar eclipse.
And
go ahead. What you about to say?
And the question is, okay, so one can say, okay, well, he's the supreme executive authority of the state, so if he wants to give them delegated authority, well, hold on. What can he give an organization or commission authority to do? He cannot create a second-hand legislature. That's basically what they did. They created a legislature that's separate from the three branches and called them a commission and allow them to draft uniform state laws that are to their benefit so they could play their monopoly games of monopolizing different professions, right? Because they have the power to regulate commerce. So it's like, oh, how can we come up with a way to commercialize the people's rights?
That's slavery, by the way. I yield.
That is. I mean, it says right here. He says right there, or trading the natural people's rights. You have the right to be secure in your places, in your person's papers, houses, in effect. So being secure in your house means you're not going to get kicked out because you don't give private commercial paper owned by the board of governors or the board of trustees of the Federal Reserve Bank, who's not government, because you don't use their private commercial paper to give it to he who's playing quote unquote real estate games or whatever. You're not supposed to be insecure in your home. You're not supposed to lose the electric energy or have it taken from your home. Anyways, you're not supposed to take anything from your house without a warrant. So they're not supposed to also take that electric energy. That is something that is in your home. They're going to take it out because you don't give them Federal Reserve notes. But that was your right to have that, because anyways, they don't have a monopoly on nature. They do not create energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. They can merely convert it or harness it. So because or direct it. They're directing the energy that is already in existence, that you have dominion over to use as a sovereign coming from the womb. You have the right to sunlight. You have the right to earth. You have the right to water. You have the right to air. They cannot redirect air, redirect sunlight, redirect water, redirect earth, and tell you that you have to play monopoly games in violation of the Constitution in order to maintain the use of that birthright. This is what they're doing. And then on top of that, they can't skate their obligation to the Constitution because attorneys are officers of the court. So they take an oath to the Constitution as well. So even if they're operating as a shadow legislature, so to speak, they still have an oath to the Constitution. But you see, they're trying to skate because they're not on the clock, because they're all volunteers. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to skate. Well, yeah, we have an obligation to the Constitution, but we're not on the clock right now. You see them? So they're creating this. But the people, the members of the legislature who are adopting these proposed drafted so-called laws, right? Quasi color of law. They
quasi-national, right?
Right. They are obligated, and like, yo, they know what they're doing, particularly when they only define certain words in the statutes, and they make sure not to define other words because it would just give up the whole game. They make sure to make it so that one who studies might be able to get it, comprehend it after months of studying, or maybe even years. But those who don't want to read, the ones who just think, I just got to go to work and pay my bills, they're never going to figure it out.
Mother Delilah Pascal in the chat. She says, Islam, for a matter, hold on, let me make sure I'm seeing everybody here. First of all, Mother Carmisha says, Islam Moors, I self-law and master Islam to you. I think, who was it? At first, I thought I saw Brother Al Noor Latif L. I thought I saw him. So peaceful greetings to Brother Al Noor Latif L. I think that's Brother Jaron. Shout out to Brother Jaron Bey. I see him there saying peace and love. Mother Carmisha says, Islam Moors, I self-law and master. Indeed, Mother Carmisha. Book of Malakia. all right, says Islam family, gratitude for your service. Mother Delilah says Islam for a matter of clarity from Black's Law Dictionary. What is the definition of the term land, please? So Mother Delilah Pasayal, peace and greetings to you, our beloved mother, whom we well please. Yes, we'll do that. Devucci says peace. And Mother Delilah says a right not exercised is a right waived, right? It's interesting because we know about that whole, that's kind of like within latches, right? If you don't claim a certain right or whatever, then you don't have it. However, we'll also say this, within the realm of federal agency, the term waived means that you also have an obligation to do something, right? So you cannot waive your rights though. Actually, you can't volunteer to waive your rights. However, what Mother Delilah, I think, in good spirit, and we saying this in good faith, that what Mother Delilah is saying here, a right not exercised is a right waived in consideration of the federal agent seeking to adjudicate upon your life's energy. If they be the kind of federal agents that are what's the word, dishonorable, and not
even to add to your wisdom, even in that sense, it's a principle in law, and it's res judicata. There's stare decisis that says a waiver of rights of a constitutional right must be knowing, willingly, and intelligent act. So you must know you're waiving it, you must be willing to waive it, and you must be doing it intelligently, not some idiot who doesn't really know the consequences of waiving it, knowing and willingly doing it. You got to be intelligently doing it. So those are 3 qualifications with regard to waiving it in that sense.
Correct. So what I'm going to say, and let's make sure we're clear. All righty, you guys know we're here. I'm also going in my joint too, man. My Henry Cavill Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition. I'm trying to see if I can hurry up and get to the page also, just to let you know what it is. I was just near 2. Boom. I think you're going to be around page 1020, but it's PDF page 1095. PDF page 1095. PDF page 1095 on the left-hand side. You should see land after Lanchetti, right? On the left-hand side, right? And land is actually almost a page. You see, because it's taking up 2/3 of, well, 3/4 of one column on the left side and maybe 3/4 of the right side also. But it is 1095 of 1956. So 1095th page out of 1956 pages. All righty. Book of Malakia says Islam Moor, it's pronounced Malakia. Oh, like Malachi. Okay. Okay, got you. Gratitude, peace, and love. Got you. Right? And I appreciate that. I'm always open for correction. Link for the flash drive. You know what? If you want to, I can go and do it, or you can go to Instagram or whatever. But since you asked, why not? Why not go to the drive and actually, let's see. I can actually give the link for Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. That's what we have called that particular Google Drive. So it's Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. Let me copy the link here. And I'll come back here now to the YouTube. And I will share the link for Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. And there it is. All you guys have to do is click that link. And when I get the email, I'll add you to it. Right. And I'm going to yield the floor unless you got it, bro. Is it making you do your thing like that?
Yeah, it's acting up.
You can relieve your screen share if you want. And then we can bring the screen share back up afterwards because I got you. I'm on it. And I got you, bro.
It's on.
Here we go. Oh, hold on. You looking good.
No, that's not it.
Oh, all right.
It was actually the settings that popped up. So I even tried to open a new one because the old one froze and it wouldn't work.
Worries. I got you, bro. I got you. Here we go. Boom. Land. Boom. Shakalaka. Tick taka. Don't stop. Yeah, it's no problem. Guys, as you can see, like I said before, no disrespect. However, I remember when Brother Taj, you know, in the drive that he was given about 8 years ago, it had about 2 gigs worth of stuff. Him and Mother Delilah, right, had some information on the drive, 2 gigabytes of information. When I came across, this is that pre-2018 stuff, before that 2018 infiltration of the Richie brother and sister duo. I don't care what you, but Brother Taj is on look, Brother Taj has got to eat, okay? Anybody think I'm out of order? You know my number, you know my phone number, or you can say it right here. Brother Taj has got to eat. All right, so let's just keep that a band. There's no disrespect to Brother Taj. However, I don't watch a lot of people go around just going to RV Bay Publications. Spend at least 18 months there. I'm not saying you can't outgrow other things. What I'm saying is be solid in something for once in your life. Instead of just, well, this brother's doing this too, so we're just going to, okay. Because Brother Taj will tell you, don't follow me. I get the instruction clearly. All we're doing is analyzing and making ourselves stronger in the mind. That's why we go to the Jurisprudence gym. However, we're never letting go of RV Bay Publications, Moor's Heritage and History School. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Respectfully, because that's our foundation. Trust me, if we had something like the Jurisprudence gym within our own Moorish community, we probably wouldn't be going to the Jurisprudence gym. However, still, shout out to Malika, Sonny, Bobby, and Keith, and everyone else that's at the Jurisprudence gym, and the other 70 to 80 people that show up when I and my brothers are there to participate, to add to the energy pertaining to enforce the Constitution, even if not everyone there are Moorish American. And I stand firm on that because I see what works, period. I see what works. So with that being said, not knocking anybody giving drives out there or stuff like that. However, this information was given that way to us. So that's why we have Prophet Noble Drew Ali University being easily accessible from our Instagram. 7 Hill Star Instagram, you can go and click it in the link tree. Our Astrology Street Instagram, it's in the link tree, in the bio, so that you guys can at least fairly have access to all that has been given to us. Now, I don't have everything that's on it because some things that I received from the elders came with other instruction. However, Brother Taj did say when it was a 2 gig drive at that time, he was like, what I put on there keep you busy for about 5 to 10 years. But what Hasan's put on there keep you busy for another 15 to 20. It's not a joke. I'm the one that made it possible for Naila to reduce, because I added 18 gigs to that. It was about 20.9 gigs on that drive. And it got reduced down to 11. So what's missing? I'm not speaking bad about anybody either. I want y'all to be clear on that I speak the truth, tell the truth, and I don't care if any elder or old hustlers get mad at me. The truth is stern, and don't change and it don't pass away. And this is what we should have been doing. Instead of playing, let the spot where we're learning from get infiltrated by the Ritchie family. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, because Brother Taj said some brothers got the big head and they real egotistical. Man, you don't take your chocolate chip Charlie looking ass somewhere. You and your system. Y'all go back and look at that May 18th, 2018 video. They called Mother Delilah on the stage. Mother Delilah was already popping shit out of somebody. Oh, Hasan, we can't hear you saying Islam all the time because my Islam is really saying this is some bullshit. And I'm not against consular activity. I comprehend it. Mother Delilah and Brother Tashtri Bey put together the 108 consular restoration questions in harmony with lesson book 14. I don't think people were supposed to step out there and be consular generals and shit. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Because why didn't I get that? I didn't get that memo. I think I read pretty good. Just, this is the instruction, right? Mother Delilah, if you're still here, you can correct me for the record on the chat while we continue to go into land. You can correct me, Mother Delilah, for the record. It won't go anywhere. Everyone can see it. Because I mean what I'm saying, because I was there. I wasn't just watching it from Facebook or YouTube. I was there, giving my time the best way that I can, even when I didn't have the finances to contribute. I'll sweep, I'll clean, I'll vacuum. What can I do in assisting? I'll paint.
Yeah, you know things are messed up.
Together? Go ahead, I yield.
You know things are messed up when you're watching House of Reawakening Minds and there's people in the chats praising sellouts.
Yeah, it's something going on, man. Or talking about, we're going to bring on this other sellout next Tuesday. Like, okay. That's because some elders, I don't care if they are hosting an internet platform, they are stuck in the I run a church, we're used to run a church, and I still need these notes, because how are we going to not be nomads? And how are we going to look, lady? Stop bitching and moaning. Please stop it. Don't brag about you've been around Brother Taj for 11 years either. Because you're still doing Federal Reserve Agency. For the record, we can see and hear you, right?
And bringing liars onto your platform. These dudes are liars. Like they're literally lying on your platform to everyone who's watching and who's gonna watch in the future, talking about they shut the Pope down and all this crazy shit. Dude's working a regular job just like any Federal Reserve agent. Stop lying.
This is what we got to deal with, man. We got to deal with people who are just trying to people please and crowd please. So at least one note per however many people will come in per month. Like, really? Like, why don't you just admit, hey, I really don't comprehend more science, even though I've been around Brother Taj for 11 years, but the osmosis of knowing it didn't work. So I'm still in the situation where I haven't gotten myself out of Federal Reserve Agency, and I'm still under the threat, duress, and coercion of needing Federal Reserve notes for something, because I won't correct my mindset, because I'd rather be turbanless and just have people praise me. Let's keep it a whole band. That's why, it doesn't have that. When she said a couple classes ago, we need to be able to do something metaphysically without nationality and birthrights. And Brother Taj was like, this is all about nationality and birthrights, period. That's the foundation, is nationality and birthrights. So why would you guys, and then they'll bring on people that'll speak against that this isn't Morocco. Like, are you guys really still supporting that platform out of some kumbaya-ness? Like, do you get how believerish you are? Oh, well, it's okay. We'll just look past that. Let's just keep supporting the infiltration. Okay. Okay. Boy, that great and awful day is yet to come. I yield. Oh, you requested access. Got you. Let me go to my email. Book of, it says Malachi. Okay, we'll see. I'll get it together. Oh yeah, it is one right there. Okay, let's set you as a viewer.
I'm gonna go ahead and read this.
Correct.
Land, land in the most general sense comprehends any ground, soil, or earth whatsoever, as fields, meadows, pastures, woods, moors, waters, marshes, furries, and heath. Right, and that's co-lit 4A, Reynard versus City of Caldwell. In its more,
hold on one moment. Let's add to your wisdom, since where one mother's breast have given us suck, and one mother's breast, that's as above, right? That would be the Milky Way. The so below then would be the earth from which everybody grows their food. And another portion of Trinity to mother's breast have given us up is the fact that all mothers are mother, right? So with that being said, that's actually showing you that ye are the earth also. So ye are land.
Yeah.
Technically.
Especially when it says moors and waters.
I yield.
Right. So in its more limited sense, land, quote unquote, denotes the quantity and character of the interest or estate, which the tenant may own in land. Well, if you're a tenant, I don't think you're owning anything. But I get where they're going with that, right? But again, you know,
if you own something, that means you owe something.
That's Holmes versus U.S., right? Land, quote unquote, may include any estate or interest in lands, either legal or equitable, easements, incorporeal, hereditament. That's Renard versus City of Caldwell again, right? Jones versus Magruder, and Lynch versus Cunningham. All right. So I'm pretty sure all those cases either quoted each other, one or the other, right? Petition of Burnquist.
Still giving you case law, Cuff versus Kolosky, or Koslowski.
The land is one thing, and the estate in land is another thing. For an estate in land is a time in land or land for a time.
Back to unity.
Interesting.
Back to unity. Unity of time. Back to unity. Shout out to Mother Delilah Pascal for asking us to bring this up. Continue.
Technically, land signifies everything which may be holden, and the term is defined as comprehending all things of a permanent and substantial nature, and even of an unsubstantial, provided they be permanent. All right. Ordinarily, the term is used as descriptive of the subject of ownership and not the ownership.
So hold on, let's time out. Ordinarily, the term is used as adjective, as descriptive, pertaining to the subject, pertaining to ownership, and not the ownership. Woo-wee. Jesus Christ. So in other words, it's bureaucratized. So in other words, somebody's writing some shit.
Yeah, and we already know the land shall not be sold forever.
Correct. That's Leviticus 25:23, correct? Or is it 23:25? I think it's 25:23. Leviticus 25:23. I
think it's 25:23 as well.
Correct.
Land includes not only the soil or earth, but also things of a permanent nature affixed thereto or found therein, whether by nature, as water, trees, grass, herbage, other natural or perennial products, growing crops or trees, mineral, under the surface, or by the hand of man as buildings, fixtures, fences, bridges, as well as works constructed for use of water, such as dikes, canals, etc. And again, that goes back to the fact that everything that is being built upon the earth came from the earth. So it's not a distinction that you're not on the land. I'm on American soil, but when I walk in Walmart, I'm in a corporation now. No, the building is not Walmart. The building is the land. Walmart is the name of the corporation that was created on paper. They just put the name on the front of the building.
Correct. Even when you think about what you say,
you're not in Walmart because you walk in the building.
Correct. To be in Walmart, you must be pertaining to the
I already know what you're gonna
bylaws.
Say. Yeah, you got to work for them. You gotta be contracted with them.
To be in the mind state that Walmart wants you to be in, so that you can either enjoy the immunities, the privileges, and the immunities pertaining to Walmart.
So you could play Monopoly with Mr. Walmart, because remember I told you a lot of these corporations, they just have the last name of the alleged owner or the founder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, so where we at? It embraces not only the surface of the earth, but everything under or over it. All right, and then you got to scroll up a little bit.
It may include. Oh, hold on. It has. It has its legal signification right there.
Okay, it has in its legal signification an indefinite extent upward and downward, right? And like if you read, I was studying real estate terms, right? And they have what's called air rights. I think it's called air rights. So that's the rights to the air above the land
and below. So when you're talking land, and that you're actually speaking about that which you're occupying and the air above and what's below, actually, if you wanted to look at it like that. So yeah, as it is above, so it is below. I yield. Correspondence.
I met someone from near Mexico who told me that you know, dealing with the Mexican government, when you purchase or you obtain property and land, that they only allow you to own a certain amount into the ground. Like after like a certain amount of inches or feet, it belongs to the government, quote unquote. And so if you were to find gold or something like that in the land at a certain depth, you can't even claim it. Like they're claiming that. It's crazy.
That sounds like federal agency all over again, where it's like my question then would be in defense to someone finding said gold would be, do you have a certified statement that is written and autographed by you that says you agree to that so-called depth in land rule?
Land ownership, right? Indeed. It may include a franchise connected with land. Oh, there go them franchise boys.
Lean with it. Yep. Okay. Anyway.
Yep. Land is or includes the solid material of the earth, whatever may be the ingredients of which it is composed, whether soil, rock, or other substance.
Wow, that just proves what you were saying. Like anything that if they say it's a building, it's a land conveyance, it's an airplane, it's a train, it's a boat, guess where the materials to make those things come from?
They didn't go to outer space to go get them.
So
I'm going to say Earth. I'm going to say Earth.
So with that being said, this is how I'm looking at this then. That means that everything is prepaid then. You know why everything is prepaid? Because this is your ancestral estate and we're our ancient, that's time, right? Foremothers and forefathers. Well, who we were then is who we are now.
And since the land shall not be sold forever, that means whatever you're making out the land, you're not supposed to sell it either, because it's still on the land. It's still on the land no matter what's attached to it. Oh, you got a whole farm attached to it? Oh, okay. So you got these cabbage plants, you got these, you know, whatever you're growing, tomatoes, cucumbers, all of that stuff is on the land. All of that stuff is the land. The land shall not be sold. You got everything, the whole store. Like, I don't even want to hear it. The whole store shouldn't be for sale. Every rack, everything on the racks, all of it. I don't want to hear it. Oh, let me see your receipt on the way out. What receipt? You selling the land?
When this is so much to study. When whoever's doing that, I just did that for you out there. Who's ever like, man, this is too much. No, it's not. What's not enough is your effort in comprehending this, because what we're saying is also that since you're speaking on the sense that is dealing with time, what we were then is what we are now. So we are to enforce the Constitution and honor our ancient foremothers and forefathers, so our days are long upon the earth land. Duh. So with that being said, no one should be transacting for any fucking thing.
So hold on, I got a question.
Technically speaking, but we're under occupation, so we need to be cash apping and Venmoing and fucking Zelling and shit. I yield.
So I got a question. When one quote unquote pays off their mortgage, what is it that they're paying after that? Is it land tax or property tax, or what is it?
It's a tax, but 9 times out of 10 it's property tax.
Property tax. Okay, I was just wondering because I was just reading this next paragraph. It says, philosophically, it seems more correct to say that the word land means in law, as in the vernacular, the soil or portion of the earth's crust, and to explain or justify such expressions as that whoever, quote, whoever owns the land owns the buildings above and the minerals below.
Correct.
Upon the view, not that these are within the extension of the term land, but that they are so connected with it that by rules of law, they pass by a conveyance of the land. This view makes land, quote unquote, as a term narrower in signification than reality, quote unquote. Though it would allow, right, it would
right in realty, but yes.
That's what we were just talking about. It would allow an instrument speaking of land to operate coextensively with one granting realty or real property by either of those terms. But many of the authorities use the expression land, quote unquote, as including these incidents to the soil.
In other words, incidents to the soil would be, I guess, finding gold or growing cabbages, as you said. Those are incidents, you know, just off of just, you know, what I'm thinking there. I yield.
Islam. The term land, quote unquote, may be used interchangeably with property, quote unquote. It may include anything that may be classed as real estate or real property. Real estate is an interest in real property, right?
Well, and also that means that when you're talking real estate, now you're back again to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17.1.2 or 17.2.1, pardon me, when we're talking about the annotated constitution and speaking about people who are doing business opportunities to other people who think they're getting a place to stay. No, that real estate contract, whether it is under lease or mortgage, you're only dealing with the fixtures, like the light fixtures, the stove, the microwave, the dishwasher, the refrigerator, maybe even a garage connected to the structure, but they can never deal in with the actual house itself, because now what they're actually dealing with is some land that is really only made to cook food, keep food cold, make sure you can see. But guess what? What if you remove those fixtures and put your own in? Then there's no contract to be had. Like, yo, listen, this
when I move in, I don't want no fixtures. Just make sure there's no fixtures in the house.
So you can provide your own.
No, for real.
Or the fixtures that are provided have been made from my ancestral estate. So you need to go to Congress and get the bill footed. You want to send a bill or you want to send a lease? Okay, well, let's send the lease to HUD. Right? Let's send it there. Because Congress is supposed to be taking care of the so-called debts, right? So let's find someone in the cabinet. Right now, it's Marsha Fudge sitting in the seat for housing and urban development. What's up, Marsha? How you doing, man? Anyway, with that being said, guys, you just need to comprehend this instead of that. Damn, since y'all brothers know this, then we need to get together and find a way for the movement and the people. Did you just hear Brother Todd say on Friday? That's why I don't do consultations, which means he's speaking. Yo, I hope y'all can really hear, because there are people out here that just got recently pinned against guardrails by like 10 brown shirts who told me or had it relayed to me that they can't speak unless they get 300 notes sent to them for a consultation. That's why Brother Touch, I don't do consultations. I want you guys, I hope y'all really listening and stop being groupies.
12 CFR. I was looking for something. I found it. 12 CFR section 34.81.
Are you able to screen share again? You want to finish this up and then we go into that? I'll stop my screen share and then we'll go into that. Unless you want to make the point now, and then I can just stop the screen share so you can share that. Unless you want me to look it up.
You can pull it up real quick.
All right, got you. 2 seconds.
We want to finish land real quick?
Either one, it don't matter. You said 12 CFR what?
34.81.
I got that right?
Correct.
It's funny because we were supposed to go in on that DS Form 11 to show the people if they. We really wish you guys didn't get freaking passports because you made yourself a fucking franchise of the United States. You're a debtor now. But
you part of them franchise boys.
Lean with it, bro. Yup. Okay, anyway. I thought it was unalienable rights, and you're sitting here leaning it and rocking with it. All right, where are we?
DPC real estate, number 1. Click on that. Debts previously contracted. DPC real estate means real estate, including leases. That's why I told you to bring that up, because you said whether you're mortgaging or leasing. Debts previously contract. DPC real estate means real estate, including leases acquired by a national bank or federal savings association through any means, in full or partial satisfaction of a debt previously contracted.
That's why most corporations, if you don't comprehend this, please do. All corporations in some way, shape, or form are a bank. So this is why declaring and proclaiming your nationality is paramount, so that you're not a registered agent for a bank.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. If they have a register, if they have a card scanner, if they accept checks and stuff like that, these people are operating as banks.
Period.
Guarantee they will be communicating. That's why every single business has to deal with the IRS.
Correct. I was coming back to this portion so people could see. But I want to get a passport. What if I don't have a birth certificate? Duh. Baptismal record and family Bibles. Why do you think people come to Seven Hill Star for their Mirror Astroliteracy session? Because I'm not just telling you that. I'm giving you what you need for other things. Getting a Mirror Astroliteracy session counters the birth certificate. That's what I'm saying plainly. Let me say it again. Getting a Mirror Astroliteracy session from us, because of the way I form it and the instructions I give to those that participate, it counters and is in lieu of the U.S. birth certificate, the vaginal finding certificate. I found this out for pussy. What do I do with this? Like, you didn't know you were with child for 9 months?
The thing is, we're not supposed to be having to prove things to these people in order to have resources.
Period. However, back to land, finishing it up. I yield, bro.
Islam. All right. The term lands, quote unquote, designates all real estate. And the word lands, quote unquote, is ordinarily synonymous with real estate or real property, which, by the way, those terms are also, I have those definitions too. If you wanted to look at them real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, let me, all right, we could do 12 CFR section 34.42. Defines real estate.
Oh, pardon me.
Real estate should be in there. There it is. Real estate or real property means an identified parcel or tract of land with improvements and includes easements, rights of way, undivided or future interests.
There's that time again.
Right. Or similar rights. Right. Or similar rights in a tract of land, but does not include mineral rights, timber rights, growing crops, water rights, or other similar interests severable from the land. If you want to be real, we could sever all of that shit. We could sever the whole building off the land if you want to be technical.
Yeah, because this is actually dealing with those that are federal agents. This doesn't apply to anyone but federal agents.
Yeah, when the transaction does not involve the associated parcel or tract of land. So I was just gonna say, to close it out, I mean, we should probably show this every video. Prudent versus Neo. Why does it only apply to federal agents? We'll show you why. Besides Article 1, Section 8, right?
Is it opinion or case details? Hold on, I think it's case details. This where it is? No, it's not. Find the opinion. 2 seconds.
You should type Prudent versus Neo case law.
Got you.
We don't have to scan through the whole thing.
No worries. Hold on. I will type case law, but was it PDF when we found it last time?
Right. Not sure.
I'll do case law since that's your suggestion. Hold on. Boom.
Right there. Click on that first one again.
Oh, okay.
Click on that first one again and control search when change. Wait, go back. What did it say? Go back one time. Okay. When you click on that link that we were just on, control F when a change of government. Do that. Because it starts from right there. When a change of government. There you go. All right, we can start reading from there. When a change of government takes place from a monarchical to a republican form, or to a republican government, the old form is dissolved. Those who lived under it and did not choose to become members of the new had a right to refuse their allegiance to it and to retire elsewhere. By being a part of the society subject to the old government, they had not entered into any engagement to become subject to any new form the majority might think proper to adopt.
Exactly. So just because everybody jumping off a motherfucking bridge don't mean that I need to jump off a fucking bridge. I yield.
Right. When the coup d'etat took place and it went from a republic form of government to a democracy, we didn't agree to that. The majority shall prevail is a rule posterior to the formation of government and results from it. It is not a rule binding upon mankind in their natural state.
Correct.
There, and then here goes the quote for the case law. There, every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature. He is not bound by any institutions formed by his fellow men without his consent. And I'll yield the floor.
And boom, there goes the dynamite. So we're doing a part 2 then, right? Because let's just be clear. I wanted to go in on where we at. I wanted to go in. So when we do part 2 next Sunday for AstroCivics Sunday, we're going to continue to read what Brother Aura had regarding the UCCs by Brother Hasan Bey on the Jurisprudence page for RV Bey Publications, which is right there. Jurisprudence page is, you see, public records, records join divine is at the top. Right now, the screen, you go down, proclamations is 1, writs 2, law 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th one that says jurisprudence, actually. And that's where we were. We finished reading regarding the UCCs by Brother Hasan Bey. And then we'll come here to public records, true and divine. All righty, because I want to go to the Moorish Nation public record right there in the hyperlink so that we can see what has already been there. All righty, that's why I told you guys. I've been doing this since 2014. So I came at the end of 2014. This was posted January 25th, 2014. And these are the things that I saw. There wasn't someone talking about their general consulting. That didn't exist. It didn't need to. There was no one coming from the Marines doing a operation and doing a sting operation, internal infiltration and stuff. That stuff didn't exist. That stuff didn't start existing until they saw sincere Moors coming to where Prophet Noble Drew Ali was being shared actually by Brother Tariq Bey in the form that we would really get it. So yeah, you guys need to ask yourself a question. Why isn't, Seven Hill start, holding flags in the middle of 95 or pent up against guardrails talking about, you need to leave him alone, sir. He's the he's the astrological general. I know you guys probably don't like what I'm saying, because you might got your groupie pom-poms out for your favorite Moorish group, but I mean, what have they done for you lately? I'm keeping it a band. Don't think I haven't reached out to these people, but some of them, like the fallen Morisco's leader, he's like, well, if it was meant for us to link up, then we'll link up. I don't need to. I can see now why certain Moors told that guy, hey man, not linking up with Hasan is criminal. However, we can smell you a mile away when we know you're on infiltration stuff. How come we don't have gold fronts and a whole bunch of gold chains with our taco meat showing? How come we don't got that? How come we ain't wrapping turbans around our fezzes? Because we can follow instruction and we don't give a fuck what the people want to see. When it comes to us getting instruction, I got the instruction. I shared it with Brother Corey, Brother Terrell, Brother Sean, Brother Ara, Senor Jackson Bey, even brothers that aren't even around us anymore because they were a part of the sting operation too. They just didn't think we could see them or smell them. Oh, we let you inside the claws, but I'm telling you, on your way out, you're going to get your spirit snapped away from what you thought. You think you in your body. You ain't in your body no more. Fucking with us.
Bro, since we're talking about corporations, I do want you to look at one more thing real quick. And this is because I just read something right here that you had up on the screen that said all corporations are creatures of a constitution. And that goes back to when I was saying all corporations have a constitution or bylaws. And then that also ties into the Constitution being the supreme law of the land, and how people think that like private, that they're not really private, but people think that corporations can make policies that violate people's rights and stuff, like you got to wear a mask and stuff like that. They cannot make anything that violates the Constitution, and I could show you proof in the state law. So if you can really quick pull up NRS 78.060, which chapter 78 is dealing with corporations. And this is to show you that the Constitution is.
Did I get that right?
Correct. Constitution is trumping all of that shit.
Private corporations.
Mm-hmm. They call them private, which is a lie. Everything about them is public.
General powers.
Okay, yeah, go to 60. Yep, look at 60. Any corporation organized under the provisions of this chapter, A, has all the rights, privileges, and powers conferred by this chapter. B, has such rights, privileges, and powers as may be conferred upon corporations by any other existing law. And then let me see so I could just skip to it. All right, E, let's look at E. And this is what 2E. So 2 says every corporation, by virtue of its existence as such, is entitled, E, to make bylaws not inconsistent with the Constitution or laws of the United States or of this state. I don't even got to read the rest. Their bylaws and their Constitution too.
It must be consistent.
Has to be consistent. So it has to be in harmony. Back to Article 6, Clause 1, 2, and 3. So There's no way that a corporation can say, especially you don't have a contract with them. There's no way they can say, you can't come in here unless you violate your own right to breathe by putting on a mask and abridging your right to breathe freely. And that's a birthright. That's not a right, you know, established by no government. That's not, governments don't give you rights.
Hold on, I was just trying not to erase stuff.
It is impossible. It is impossible for a corporation to have a policy or to operate in a way that violates law. There's no way that they can say, you got to do this, you got to do that. And you know that's a violation of your rights to be secure and when they make a policy that violates your right to be secure in your person, papers, houses, and effects, or in one of any of those, they're operating on policy that's violating the Constitution. They can't do that. They cannot do that.
You said Article 6. That's where I was going, just to show them what you was talking about. You said Article 6.
Right.
Which is this number, guys. The I is 6.
Clause 2, this Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. That's it right there. This is the head. You can't, this is the standard. You cannot, you can't violate the standard.
Withstanding is the same word as this. Because in Moorish Latin, with is what, Brother R?
Con.
Exactly. Con is with. And stit, when you go and look up standing, stit, or stat, if we were to go to etymonline.com, right? And then do STIT, right? Hit search, right? Okay, let's just do constit, right? Let's do constitute, right? Now, I know it says, right, mid 15th century quote, to enter into the formation of as a necessary part, in quotes, right? How do you enter into a formation? Do you have to put your foot by which you stand into the circle to be eeny, meeny, miny, moe? From Latin, constitutus, past participle of constituere, quote, to cause to stand. So stit is standing. So ushin is the state or the condition. So con with stit, standing, ushin, state, withstanding state, the withstanding condition, right? So now if we go back to this Constitution on rvbaypublications.com, right? This PDF, right? Go back here with standing condition, with standing. So Brother R just read that in anything in the withstanding or laws pertaining to any state to the contrary are not constitutional. They're unconstitutional. They just showed you what constitution means in the same exact clause. Can you guys even identify that? Like, this is why we study the way we study, so we can be, like when Brother Todd said, you give this to a 4-year-old, someone who, or anyone who really has been studying documentation for some time, and they can see that any lawful legal document, and they can start substituting words that better fit what's being written there. Duh, which means we can identify when a document is defining itself. That's how the Bible is set up, or most other holy books, which are the law books, and the law books are the holy books. That's why you'll hear Mother Ross Mariah say the Constitution is one of the most highly divine and spiritual documents on the planet. And technically, everyone in the world wants to have this document. Why? Because we ancients, that are returned, put this together for you. And that's how you should be thinking. One mother's breast have given us up. There it is again. I can keep pointing this out all you want. I have no problem with pointing it out. Seriously. Milky Way, because even though it's standing on the snake and standing on the book, also, I want you guys to be able to see that when you look at certain celestial plates, the Milky Way looks like a snake biting its own tail. I brought that out before in our Veritas presentations. One mother's breast is given a suck. I'm showing you guys, you must be Astro Masons. Stop bitching and moaning. Stop looking for the microwave results. Stop looking for the we shall overcome thought processes in your head, because we're going to reject your deposits until you get it, not the way we say get it. We got it the way that it was presented. It's just we're not presenting it how it came to us. We're making sure we're following the instruction that we got. Yo, here, this yours. This is how we need to be chopping this up. This is the mindset we need to have. Keep rolling that over, because it's just like if you're overweight by 60 pounds and you're talking about, dang, man, y'all in shape. How do I do that? And we're like, yo, we're really not personal trainers. However, this is how we got ourselves in shape. So do this repetition to work on these parts of your body so that you can be fit physically here. It's not even complicated. It's nowhere near complicated. You just have to, like Brother Aura said earlier, you have to want this. And you can't want it because you think it'll make you the next great lecturer on the planet or something. Or you can be better than your so-called Negro Black colored leader guys that are doing lectures and shit. Nobody really cares about that. Nobody cares. Oh, let me do a lecture and things like this and all of that or whatever, you know. Hey, Elijah, after I finish this live, I'll call you right back, beloved brother, all right? All right, peace and love. So with that being said, guys, where are we then? I'll tell you where we are. We are here at the hub pertaining to the universe, the North Gate. We're not supposed to be here allowing ourselves to keep using the commercial mindset that has been made uniform in you by social engineering. And now you're going about the way pertaining to your nationality and birthrights with a commercial thinking. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, when you go to RB Bay, you got to transact for them cards, man. That is administration, and it's being done at a way. You want to not transact for a card? Fine then. Get the materials, comprehend and study, and put it on toilet paper and laminate the toilet paper. It works just the same, provided you can stand on the information written upon it. Don't think that the laminated toilet paper is going to get you out of some shit. Because your mindset, which is well studied, you should not be attracting those things to yourself. Again, I remember when I got on the phone with Mother Roz and Mother Anna Ida a few years back. And when I got into something, just thinking I'm doing the right thing, and Mother Anna Ida asked me a question without cursing, because you know some people will put the wrong information out there because they weren't there on the phone. However, Mother Ross Mariah and Mother Anna Ida were on the line, and Anna Ida asked me, she said, what is it about your energy that you attract this to yourself? And I was like, damn, I ain't never think of it like that. I wasn't a bitch like, who the fuck she thinks she's talking to? Oh man, and I've never been a punk bitch. Only punk bitches answer like that. I don't care how you think. You sitting there being so tough outwardly that you can't even defend yourself inwardly. And you're just gonna let people railroad you, put you in situations pertaining to federal agency while you just sit there mad and angry. When the whole time what you should have been doing is honoring your ancient foremothers and forefathers so your days may be long upon the earth land. So don't hate on Seven Hill Star, Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, or any of my other brothers. Don't hate. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing and making sure you have what you have. You're just blind. Not even recognizing that it's right there. Somebody else is going to probably have to, you know, spoon feed it to you because we're not going to be the ones doing it. So it's other people out there that'll sit there and read your books online and shit to try to slowly get you cross the river from Negro, Black, Color to National. It's fucking pathetic, actually. It really is. Because it shows that people would much rather have their hand held and be told what to do than to follow the fucking instruction that is being presented by I and my brothers every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays when we do AstroCivics Sundays. Provided we're not taking a break like we have some Sundays. Some Sundays, because I and Brother Aura actively are enforcers at home. We have beloved mother, mistress, consorts, and children that are all under the roof with us. So sometimes we have other things to tend to, which is really the goal. The goal is family. The goal is to be there, have a beloved mother, mistress, consort, according to nature's law. So mothers have a beloved son, master, consort. None of that funny duddy stuff. Respect how you got here. Your mother and father were together to bring you life, not your mother and mother, not your father and father. So cut that bullshit out too. You're only adding to your demise, even though we know there's supposed to be casualties of war. So you're sitting there wasting your time. Well, we got to slow walk the people, brother. Okay, all right, go right ahead and drown with them. We're going to be over here on dry land. We can come to the water when we need things to quench our thirst with. Any other questions, comments, and or suggestions? Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings, Brother Hasan, Brother Aura, and to everyone in the chat. What's up, Mother Sahar?
Wow.
Right? Brother Kevin Blaze says, Islam, Moor's Islam, Brother Kevin Blaze. Peaceful greetings to you, beloved. So, yeah, Islam. So, guys, I know sometimes Brother Hasan may seem like to you by your ears, like, damn, is he angry? No, those that know me, like Mother Sahar, Mother Delilah, Brother Taj, I'm not being angry at all. You should be like, damn, yo, these brothers really fucking love us. But you might can't see it because you're so used to hate. That's why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, come all ye Asiatics of North America. Hear the truth about your nationality and birthright. You are not Negro, Black, or colored, or Ethiopian. You're not Negro, colored, or Ethiopian. Negro, Black, colored, or Ethiopian. Go back to that mindset pertaining to your ancient foremothers and forefathers, so that your days may be long upon the earthland, and learn to love instead of hate. Which means you're natural born haters. I paraphrase that statement. If the prophet has to tell you to learn to love instead of hate, that means you're used to being abused. And you think abuse is love. And when real love comes, you think real love is abusive. So is Seven Hill Star an arrogant, know-it-all? They think they better than that. No, that's your ears. Sensitive, along with your sensitive brain. When Mother Anna Eda and Mother Ross Mariah was giving it to me all strong, I didn't go, y'all hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna be a Moor no more. I didn't do that. I don't want to listen to Moorish Heritage and History School. Fuck all these big publications. I didn't do that. I said, damn, okay, I get that. But maybe I can credit that out to my mother. Shout out to my mom, Dukes. Love you, Cicely. Shout out to her. Because there's some toughness there that was instilled very early, because I don't bitch up when people say some things. I actually kind of laugh in your face. The tougher you think you are, I kind of be like, stop tickling me. Stop it. Because you can't beat me here, like Brother Taj said. You can't beat me here. So you can't beat me in the mind. Guess what? You're gonna frustrate yourself because you won't submit to your higher self. You keep allowing your lower self to try to govern your life. And with that, I'm going to yield the floor there. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions? Any of you guys in the chat? Be not afraid. I know we're sharp in how we respond and things like that. However, again, this is love. All righty. If we saw children out there playing in traffic, hey, little motherfucker, move. Don't be mad and be like, he cursed that. I don't like that. No, this motherfucking Mack truck about to hit you.
Right.
We want you to live in full life. Is that clear? But do you want it for yourself? Or do you just want to become a hood ornament? Any questions, comments, and or suggestions out there? Seriously. Because this is going to be a part 2 next Sunday. I'm already ready. However, guys, tune in next day, which is Moon Day, all righty, 5th December 2022, when I and Brother Alim L will be going in on Sun in Sagittarius, Moon in Gemini, when it is the 180-degree aspect to the Moon and Sun and Moon here at the temple pertaining to the Moon and Sun, which is turned a full moon, and we're going to go in that early. All righty. Next day, we're going to be live by 9 o'clock Eastern, 0900 hours Eastern. That's 9 o'clock ante-meridian Eastern. That's what the AM means. Ante-meridian. Ante-meridian. Right? PM is post-meridian. Right? Brother Muhammad Bey, I know you're going to do the invocation now, and I'll bring it up, brother. But is there anything else you wanted to add, man? Any wisdom to this? Share with the people. Mother Sahar says she feels the love. She says we feel the love. And that's because Mother Sahar has gotten the time to get to know me. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm with my beloved mother mistress consort that I'm with now. And I told her to her face, the only sisters that besides, of course, I've been proposed to quite a few times since declaring and proclaiming my nationality. However, the only 2 that I was like, let me see what this is about. You see what I'm saying? And actually spoke to their actual mom and or father. Like, you know what? I think I'm interested in your daughter. One is the beloved mother mistress consort that I'm with now. I love you, honey. All righty. And I ain't gonna front. When I finally got to talk to her father, I was like, look, this is my intentions. But before now, the only other elder that I ever spoke to and said, I'm interested in your daughter is Mother Sahar. Everyone else says, Hasan, can you be with me? It's like, I'm not really going to focus on you, but okay. This is what I'm doing, so don't expect me to become a pussy puppet. Don't expect me to become a cuckold, a yes, dear. Yes, dear, you want me to stop being national and presenting online? You want me to just be a pussy puppet? Let's pull my strings. Nah, never been like that. Ever. So, love you also.
I don't got nothing to add, bro. I yield.
It's long. Well, let me go and take it. Mother Sahar said he's telling the truth. Yeah, because I ain't trying to holler at nobody. There's only 2 sisters I thought was super fine. I'm like, woo-hoo-wee. And the second sister I got to lay my eyes on, we are together now. All righty? Period. That's just how it goes. I know everybody else was, can I be with you? If that's what you want to do, I'm letting you know now. I don't have this, I don't have that, and you're probably going to be looking for this. That don't exist. No, I just want to be with you and protect you and be like a guardian angel. Okay, I hear you. You open that book right there. You want to be a guardian angel? Let's guard some things by reading. Guard your mind, right? All right, bro, you ready to do this invocation out? I'll actually let me make sure I'm on the. Hold on, where is it? Let me go back and find this real quick. I know you turned your camera off temporarily, but you already know them's not gonna be able to seize you.
You can't see me anyways. I'm standing up.
Huh? You are standing up though. Oh, okay, I got you. I got what you said.
Yeah, they're just gonna be looking at the wall anyway.
All right, sweet. So let me then do the divine constitution and bylaws here. Go to the reading now. Boom, there we go. And again, guys, supreme honors to Prophet Noble Ali. And I know there's some Masons who think they run the Moorish Science Temple of America that are going to be like, nah, Mo, you got to watch that profanity, Mo. You're the problem. You're the problem. You're the reason why and assisting further those that turned their back on Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You're the problem. Period. You're the problem. So did I mention that they're the problem? Okay, maladministration, and they still got their heads on their necks. Amazing. It's because the people don't know.
Right.
Because they like, Prophet Noble Drew Ali ain't bring the sun, moon, and stars. Mo, he ain't bring that civic stuff, Mo. Then why does the Moorish American prayer say by night and by day? I mean, hold on. How Prophet Noble Drew Ali ain't bring the sun, moon, and stars when the Moorish American prayer says by night and by day? How would you even be able to identify that? It's like, come on, let's just keep it a band. Let's keep it a whole fucking band.
That's too deep for them.
How is it too deep when this is the first thing they gotta learn?
Because you're talking to people that drown in the 3-foot pool.
Oh my God, I can't swim. Stand up. I can't stand up. I can't swim. Like, just kneel then. At least kneel. Like, at least your neck, your chin will be above the water. Like, oh my God. Like, okay. All right. Anyhow, sir, let me stand, guys. You're going to extend 5 appendages, all righty, on your left hand, all 5 appendages. On the right, just your index and your middle, and we're going to face east standing, having our feet just like Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right there on the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. And we're going to repeat after Brother Hasan Bey, and we yield the floor. Islam.
Islam. Repeat after me.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night and by day.
By night and by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Let me come back here and stop the screen share so you guys can see us going out on the outro, right? So I'm just going to say here, guys, I'd like to thank you all for showing up and interacting in the chat. We love you guys' interactions. We love you guys just, share this with your loved ones. Again, we're not mean. We're not evil. We're not talking against your favorite Moorish American, podcasting platform. We tell the truth because we know it's not being said to you plainly. What you say, Brother Aura?
I was saying Moorish American celebrity.
Yeah, that's not because we don't have time for that. We don't have time to speak against your Moorish American celebrity. Your we got to support the fall of the Moriscos. It's just like why?
Your Moorish American, your Moorish American social media star.
Yeah, that's what they are, man. Moorish American social media star. And I get it. 7 Hill Stars all over TikTok. Shout out to Brother Sean Mel once again, because we're nearing 400,000 views on TikTok for the hashtag 7 Hill Star. It is amazing, actually. We're at I think 364K, 364.3K, if not more, views there. However, we're not sitting here saying that we're a celebrity. We're going to keep telling you the truth. We're going to keep putting this out. You see what I'm saying? And Facebook has an even longer track record when you go and check the Hasan Ghaziel Bey Facebook page. You see what I'm saying? So, and we're there on Facebook, Astrology Street on Facebook, 7 Hill Star on Instagram, our Astrology Street on Instagram. I'm just speaking on what we're doing as far as 7 Hill Star and our Astrology Street, which is not just me. My brothers contribute their energy by being a part. All righty, we're part and parcel. All righty. And we know what the levels it is. Moorish Divine National Movement, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm not talking about the ones that are under maladministration. As we read in the second letter to be read in every meeting, that the temple is perfect because the prophet is perfect. We're not talking about those that think they're running the movement by being in so-called INC, Incorporated, whatever, Moorish Science temples, okay? We're not dealing with jailbird religion stuff here. Oh, well, because I did a bit and that man came in the jail ministry mode. That's what I'm doing. Stop it. Please stop it. You're slowing us down. There are youth, young and yet unborn, that need you to stop that shit. We don't care about your heyday in the streets when you sold dope. We don't care about that. We don't care how you used to sniff so much coke and all this. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. You think you're the leader of the Moor Science Temple of America, and half the people that's supposed to be your loving members are talking behind your back about you being a cokehead and a faggot. But you're supposed to be running it because you got the jail ministry. Stop it. Y'all don't get it. We get this stuff. We see the reports. We get stuff written to us. That's why we don't get into favoritism and being a fan in a group. We don't get into that. We honor when Brother Tariq Bey has to do his chats and stuff, and we respect that a servant's worthy of his hire when Brother Taj is doing what he's doing. I don't care who is hosting him on whatever platform. Normally they're incompetent. So I get what Brother Taj is doing. I'm not knocking him at all. There's just very few elders that really get our respect. And I really think there's really no one else out there that really is doing what we're doing, even though a lot of your popular fan Moors are part of the drive that we just shared here in the chat. Man, if I showed y'all who was a part of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali University according to that Google Drive, you'd be like, damn, they a part of it too? Uh-huh. That's why people coming out talking about they know medical astrology and all this other stuff. Stop it. You wouldn't even y'all welcome. You're welcome. All the praise is due to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. Supreme honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and who I call Caliph, Charles Mosley Bey. That does not mean that I'm ignoring the Supreme Grand Sheikh, Edward Mealy Ill. I comprehend his position also. Honors to him. Don't want you guys think I'm on some BS here. And actually, I really don't care what you think. Why? Because I'm too busy thinking about the truth. All righty? Shout out to Brother Tariq Bey for being sincere. Shout out to Mother Ross Mariah Bey for publishing that which we can share with you all. To maybe, oh, you don't get it yet? Okay, let's go over to the Jurisprudence gem. You see how a whole bunch of people on a platform that's not Moorish American, even though I think some Moorish Americans go there to not know how to be stronger with the writs already provided on RVB publications. Because that's what I do. That's what I do. Be like, hey man, okay, I see the joiner between the two, but that doesn't mean that I'm about to start doing writs with no header on them. Pertaining to the Moorish National Federal, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on. What is, okay, y'all see. I can't wait till part 2, bro. Brother R, I'm already ready for next Sunday already, man, for you to go in. We want to continue on. Regarding UCCs, my brother Tariq Bey, and I'm gonna go in on the Moorish National Public Record.
I'm thinking for improv, we could do telephony field trip 4 and call some of these temples.
That would be beautiful. Let's see what answers we get, because we know, nah, Mo, who you think you talking to, Mo? See, because the prophet said, you know what I'm saying, Islam is gonna be the milk cup. Move that tip of milk. It's like, oh Jesus. But yeah, that'll be fun. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, like I said, we're not about scattering the prophet's flock at all. However, we are making sure that the law is being made and enforced. And 9 times out of 10, what we'll be doing in these telephony field trips is further proving how a lot of these different Moorish science temples of America, and I'm not speaking against the temple or the prophet. I'm speaking against the fact that a lot of them have maladministration.
They're doing the same
so
thing.
We called them to be like, hey, we was wondering if this, and that. Then the people need to hear somebody going, nah, we don't do civics like that, Mo. Okay, do you guys bang a tambourine and play like a keyboard and sing church hymns, but replace Jesus with Prophet Noble Drew Ali? I'm just wondering. Do y'all sing like Negro spirituals? I'm pardon you call them Moorish spirituals? That's the questions that I would ask. I know. It seems like I'm being an asshole, right? However, we need to get down to the nitty-gritty. People need to start a movement. How about you already had something since the 1920s? Really since 1913. You don't want to defend that. You don't want to enforce that, which means strengthen. I yield, man. I yield. Any questions, comments? Any questions, comments, or suggestions in the chat, man?
Oh, go follow me on TikTok. I made a TikTok today.
Yeah, bro. What's your TikTok? Yo, I gotta follow you on TikTok, bro.
It's the same as Instagram. Ara_Muaba_Bey. I'm following you.
Post anything, man. You go to post anything, man, and put that hashtag 7HealStar, bro. I'm letting you know right now. When you go to see it, you're like, yo, it really is at like probably by that time it'll be at probably like 365,000, 366,000 views.
You gotta
on that hashtag alone.
Hold on. Because I did post something. I should edit it now because I never been on here, so it didn't let me tag no one.
Oh no, it's all good. It's no worries, man. We got. You just did it while we was about to go live, bro. So it's all good, man. I'll make sure, yeah, because like I said, we usually got 2 accounts on everyone when it comes to 7HealStar and our Astrology Street for the collective. Even though I'm the quote unquote administrator, as they say in their realm, for it. At the end of the day, that's just a conduit that I use to express this energy to you guys. That's really just what it is. So. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. Again, on TikTok, it's Astrology Street, 7HealStar on TikTok, 7HealStar on Instagram, our Astrology Street on Instagram, Astrology Street on Facebook, Hasan Ghaziel Bey on Facebook, Ara Muaba Bey. You can find Brother Ara with Ara Muaba Bey just about on any platform when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. You said you did the Ara_Muaba_Bey?
Yeah, correct. Just like the same way that my Instagram is set up.
Got you.
It's found Astrology Street. I wasn't following Astrology Street. I got to find the other brothers. I only found 720 Astro Healing.
And I think, and brother Sean's first one was Leo Mercury Moor 711. All together. Leo Mercury Moor 711. All right. And I think Diesel keeps checking the door. I think I gotta go take him out, man. He gotta go yard.
Oh, okay. I did see that one pop up.
As he goes in the yard. What you say?
I did see that Leo one pop up, and I'm like, no, I'm looking for 720 Astro Healing. Like,
no, that's Brother Sean. Leo Mercury 711. Yeah.
Indeed, I should have read everything because it does say 7HealStar on there.
It's long. Yeah, that's Brother Sean. He got 2 Instagram. He got 2 TikToks also. He got the official 720 on there. What'd you say?
Brother Corey's on here or no?
No, I don't think Brother Corey. Yeah, Brother Corey and Brother Corey, Senior Jackson Bey and Brother Terrell, I don't think had the TikTok yet. That's just me and Brother Sean because we decided to go hard as an experiment. Yeah. And I don't even think we've been interacting with TikTok for a year yet. And we're working to be at 500,000 views as far as the hashtag 7HealStar.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of these have 400, 600, 200, 400. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So even if you go to post, say you go to do a post or whatever, you just do hashtag 7HealStar, you're gonna see you won't see the number. This number's gonna pop right up next to it. It's like, whoa, man, like, okay, cool. That's why when I'm starting to see people do duets and stuff like that or whatever, cool. We appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? We just trust that you really sincerely go study. We're not somebody who, oh my God, it's 7HealStar. No, that's not what you do. Not with us. Not with us, because we're gonna be like, thank you, but study. Like, what's your nationality? Who made you? You know what I mean? Those are the questions that we're gonna ask. You know what I'm saying? Because this is serious. This is what I gotta, the children that are about to manifest. That's what I got to make sure I show. The children that are here, I got to make sure that, hey, look, this is what needs to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So
all right, well, I'm in there with y'all. We about to really make it bubble.
Oh yeah, because I'll be tagging you and everything on TikTok, just like I'm doing Brother Sean with both accounts. So you already know. So with that being said, guys, look for some B-roll footage on TikTok and Instagram as we're wrapping up. Hey Q, it's time for me to say. Oh, okay. Yeah, we about to finish up. You got me all being all giddy on the camera. I'm joking. But anyway, yes, me and my brothers, we love our beloved Mother Mistress Consort. It's like, I'm trying to tell you, man, we don't fuck around. We're very defensive. And that's why we say, guys, you need to make sure that you all are doing your part and making sure you're comprehending how to regain your lost estate and the conflict that can't be told in words. And that conflict is you fighting the parasites inside of you from improper eating. But hopefully you can fast and clean some things out. You know, shout out to Crystal, right? And Goddess Collection, get some herbs. That's what I got introduced to from my beloved Mother Mistress Consort, so that you guys can clear yourselves out. Not saying I have parasites or anything. It's just, you know, not I mean, I'm just saying, guys, like, do the right thing for yourself so you and your loved ones can be able to have a fighting chance psychically. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you people can get out there and do whatever, but like Brother Todd said, don't get in the ring, don't get in the boxing ring taking selfies. So, you know, I'm pretty sure we can do a lot of things and give the people the answers to their court woes and legal woes. Oh, I'm going through this. Cool, that's fine, whatever. Why give you a set of boxing gloves and you don't know how to defend yourself with those gloves? They're some pretty gloves, but don't get knocked out. You know, so it is what it is. No more questions, comments, and/or suggestions. Let's see, comments, questions, and/or suggestions going once. Maybe you got something you want to say? No questions, comments. Okay. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going twice. Comments, questions, and suggestions going thrice. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. Appreciate you all, and the 7 that stuck around there. Appreciate you all. Don't be offended, but you want to go run and tell your, you know, favorite Moorish group that it sounds like 7 Hill Star was talking about them. It is what it is. This is for you, not them, for those that really want to grow. We love you all. This is where I am Brother Honorable Abba Bey. Say namaste. Namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love, everybody.
Islam, bro. Peace and love.